How's everybody doing? We are back once again for some more podcasting fun. Hopefully, as long as everything remains stable here at Mission Control in the tasting room. But if you are new here and you just walked in, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith. And Houston, we had a problem.
We did.
But
hopefully it's fixed. And I quickly remembered just as we started to hit the record button because I hadn't done that yet.
Oh.
So we're good though, but I got it.
Maybe that was the universe
so we have introed.
saying...
No, I had the record button going before. I just didn't have it now.
Oh, okay.
This is now. This is now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, we are all set now, I think we will see. But yeah, thank you guys all for being here. I know some of you, this might be comes as a shock. We've got some different time changes. So even though we're still at the same time, right. You are now 4:30 Pacific when our show starts, or 7:30 Eastern. So that is now the new time frame.
As opposed to 5:30 with us.
As opposed to 5:30 right with 8:30. Right,
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And some of you now are, like I said, you're 7:30 as opposed to 8:30 in the East Coast, West Coast, all that kind of stuff. 6:30 Central, like I said, and I don't know what it is in Zimbabwe or South Africa or any of those places.
Tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Just look ahead. Your mileage and times may vary. But yeah, definitely. Pocket, how's it going?
Hate guy.
Wow, she hates us. Wow, don't know what I did, but
there we go.
We'll figure it out.
I knew it wasn't hate guy.
Pretty sure I probably did something, and it is my fault. I can freely admit to that.
That will be that'll be somebody's username, hate guy.
I wouldn't be surprised. Wow, fat. Just like, I mean, you've probably already been drinking. You've been home for a little bit, and you're slurring your typing. Is that how that works? I don't know.
Too much water.
Yeah, too much water. I've had so much water today.
That's right.
Let's get to a beverage right away before this thing starts warming up.
Oh,
what have you brought to the tasting table? It is in a carton, which we do not usually get too much of.
Well, it's so Trader Joe's eggnogs are back. Not the chocolate eggnog. I know. And as I try to be mostly plant-based, once again, in the next few weeks, that'll be kind of out.
I was going to say.
Yeah. What we've had in the past has been an almond-based nog. This year, we've got an oat-based nog, and I actually am more of an oat beverage fan than an almond beverage fan anyway. So,
do you know why
I'm happy about that?
I don't know if it's true, but do you know why I don't like almonds?
Why don't you like
all the water it takes to grow them?
There's that.
It is a ton of water for very little. I think there are so many other ways to get your protein and your nutrients and stuff. How are oats?
You mean to eat?
How are oats on the water scale?
Actual almonds, to eat them, or to make a beverage out of them?
Either one.
Oh, okay.
I think they both. I know to actually make the beverage is a ton of water,
right? And
then to actually grow them, it's also a lot of water too.
Okay.
So it's doubly a lot of water.
Yes.
Moss water.
Yes.
But what about oats? I don't know anything about oats.
I don't know.
Are these safe?
I don't know how that works on the footprint or water safety scale. I don't know how it goes.
It was hard to find information on this because, as you said, literally just kind of came out.
Yeah.
The only picture I could find, which is even the one right here, you probably can't quite read it, especially in chat. But when I did this cutout of the graphic, this is the exact same date on the carton that my brother has. So,
oh wow!
It's literally like that person. It's that fresh.
It is fresh.
And this thread for the link that I have in chat. Actually, you guys should hit the official links there. Where's the there it is. There's all the beverages we're going to have tonight. That link right there actually goes to a Reddit thread, and someone just posted it there like a day ago about this. So this is literally like hot off the press.
Yeah, I had my 2 days off, and then I was there for the first time yesterday, and that's when I saw it. So it may have just come in Tuesday. Actually, it could be
it looks fairly thick.
And that's and that is
shockingly
to me. That's the good thing about oat milk is
I was thinking watered down.
Is you usually get a thicker, you get a little more viscosity, which is one of the reasons why I like it.
Okay,
even has kind of a noggy color.
Do you know how they actually make oat milk? Like, that's something we should have looked up before.
It's not too much. It really is just soaking oats in water. There's not.
So
because I have read that it's fairly easy to make your own oat beverage.
Oh
yeah, oat milk. So
well, you were making vinegars for a while. You're gonna start making oat beverages? Shrubs?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, so yeah, first off, thicker than I thought it was gonna be, so that's good. Talking about the eggnog.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. The color actually even kind of has a yolk-ish color to it, which also that I approve of. Nothing can be any worse than the eggnog alcohol that we had last year from Trader Joe's, because that was literally the most disgusting thing ever. Go in the archives, watch that video.
I had a customer ask me today, or maybe it was yesterday. He's like, "Is this any good?" And I said, "I don't like it." I said, "I'm in the minority." I said, "We sell a lot of it." He's like, "No, I appreciate your opinion." And I said, "Really?" I said, I am in the minority, but I'm not a fan. He's like, "Oh no, thanks for being honest with me. I appreciate it." So I was like, "Okay, very good."
You're all, no, listen to me. This tastes like shit.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's horrible.
I said, "Duh," and I threw a bottle on the ground. Not too much going
I get
on.
like kind of like cinnamon oatmeal.
Yeah.
Like there is definitely like an oat aroma, as silly as that sounds. Like if you've had like steel cut oats or like just had kind of very plain oatmeal, there's that aroma going on in there. And then some very light spices, a little cinnamon, maybe a hint of nutmeg, but maybe not quite as much as I'm used to. If this is more cinnamon in flavor, I think that might be like the Trader Joe's signature like eggnog flavor, because that's what the other one.
You had the almond nog.
But remember the other one, like that's how that other one was too. Remember it was like we're like this is like cinnamon red hot.
You mean the alcohol one?
one? Yeah.
No,
so I'm saying like maybe that's a Trader Joe's signature thing. Is like we like more cinnamon.
We drank the almond nog together. We drank almond nog together. It was a bonding experience.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
it's definitely lighter. It's a little
Right.
thinner. The viscosity is good.
yeah.
But then the actual flavor that comes through, you are missing out on either the eggs or heavy cream, or like you're just not going to get that. But this is pretty close. Like it's good.
Yeah, I agree.
And for me, that's the kind of the key with eggnog is I keep saying thickness, but it is. It's that
Yeah.
way to it.
Yeah, no, I don't want it to be something that I'm like, oh. I mean, you want it to leave that sort of that residue in there.
You don't want it to be like, oh, how refreshing.
Yeah, but it is good.
Actually, it is good. I think the spices could be even a little more. They're definitely a little pulled back, but that's kind of good because if you want to, you could add a little bit more easily. If you had some of those, if you had, most people, especially around the holidays, you might have some. Yeah, if you've got some cinnamon or some nutmeg, you can kind of add a little more because that is the worst because you can't take it out if you're like, oh god, that's too spiced or whatever else. I wonder what this would be like if you took this, put in a little more spices and also a little cream.
Added the cream.
Just kind of did a little 50-50.
So then what you can do is I'll just bring you one of our eggnog.
You could just bring that. We should have done that as comparison.
Well, could have. I didn't think about that. I bought this yesterday and I was like, oh yeah, we could open with that. That'd be good.
I'm glad we did.
I will even, whatever's left, I will leave with you and I will pick up another one tomorrow.
I'm going to pour a little bit more. Do you want a little more?
Yeah, are we going to see how it holds up to the alcohol test?
So yeah, here's the key. Really good key for eggnog is a few things. If you want the eggnog to truly be the way it needs to be, you need to have oops, wrong button. You've got to always add a little bit of something extra. And add a little whiskey to it.
Oh, you have another picture there.
So we got another picture.
All right.
And I picked this one not because I thought it would be like perfect in here. I'm just honestly trying to use up the bottle. It's a fine.
That would be an extremely intelligent eggnog. If I use up that whole bottle.
Yeah, the whole bottle.
I don't need that much.
It's almost empty.
Okay.
No, it's almost empty. Look.
No, but I mean, even that much.
Well, I'm not saying we're pouring all of this, but I'm trying to get it empty.
It's a 50-50
I
nog.
had some of this the other day on stream, so that's kind of where also this started. It was lower. I was playing Red Dead again, which I've been doing during the week. And obviously it's Wilderness Rye, so that ties into the Old West.
We tried that one, didn't we?
We did. We podcasted on this one. We did a try of 3 different ryes. We did the Michter's, we did this one, and we did a Trader Joe's.
Oh, that's right.
This
high rye.
one and the Michter's were our 2 favorites.
Okay.
This one, for some reason, the other day, even after some of the 107 we had the other day, the 112 barrel proof that we had, this just seemed like it hit like a lot hotter. Even though it is 105, it was actually lower than the Baker's and lower than the Wild Turkey that we had, which we liked.
52% though. 52.5.
Yeah, so it's still in that range, but for some reason it just, I don't know. And so I was like, well, this is good. And then this is where what I had you buy for me today, the Willet, came up because I started looking at price and I thought this was a little cheaper, but it's not. This is a $63 bottle, at least the total wine. And I was like, for $57 to $60, I'd much rather have the Willet, which is not only a little bit higher proof, but also so much more complex of flavor. And like that conversation has kind of started to come up a little bit more, which I know not everything should be about price, but when it's like, I know for slightly less, I can get even more flavor. Why would I not choose that over that?
Absolutely.
You like having different things in your bar, but not if it's just like, oh, it's good, but it's not,
No, you can
this is better. So anyway, I'll let you pour because I don't know how much you're going to put in there. So I'll put in, I don't know, about half a shot there. I should have brought a spoon. I'm just going to try and slowly mix it around. Oh, Keith emptied the bottle. Perfect.
Right. I didn't even do that. I just wanted to get.
But yeah, I wanted to, like I said, so that's kind of why I brought this in here. But with thinking about if you were going to use a spirit in a mixed beverage, especially like a bourbon, I also like the higher proof stuff when you can find a good balance of that, which maybe we'll have something for you later. Stay tuned for that.
That's right.
Because a little bit more of that flavor then is going to come through as it gets kind of watered down by the other ingredients in the drink,
Oh,
whether
right.
it's a Manhattan, whether
Right.
it's a whiskey sour, a boxcar, like anything you're going to make. You don't want to overspend on your spirit, but you also don't want to underspend because it is kind of the star of the show.
Right.
So that's kind of why I also thought, I was like, well, this still should be good in here. If it's a little spicier, great, because it'll get knocked down a peg. But yeah, it was funny. Like I finished like the little bit, and I used the Norland whiskey glasses too, and it was still like, at least it was on the sip. I was just like, man, this is just really hitting me today for some reason. I don't know why.
Norland's. I was telling Todd about that how that kind of leveled everything out. We have at the store this year. It's a pre-mixed Negroni.
Did you receive my hello message? Weird things happen when the stream started.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm here. We did receive that.
Yes.
Yeah. The computer actually had to do a reboot, so that's why we are here right now.
It just started, and the computer said, "Start again."
Said no, not right now.
But it's this year or last year we had a sweet and sour and an old fashioned pre-mixed. This year we've got the old
With the alcohol in it.
Yes,
Sorry,
we've got the old fashioned and a Negroni, which is Negroni is gin and Campari and vermouth.
Oh,
So I was thinking
Sweet
maybe
or dry
after
vermouth?
sweet.
oh, okay, that makes sense.
I was thinking after Thanksgiving, maybe I'll bring a bottle of that over. Maybe we can podcast on that.
That sounds
So
great.
we've got quite a bit of that at the store. Hopefully it's good.
So I know I didn't have a spoon to mix this with, kind of stirring it around.
I've got a good mix on mine.
See, mine like you can actually looks like separated.
Yeah, I think maybe you just needed to. I
Drain
think
it.
you were a little bit more. You poured more in yours,
Okay.
and but mine I was able to get mine to mix in pretty well.
It's
Still looks
like a
it's
black
floating.
and tan.
Yeah, mine's pretty good.
All right. Sometimes you just got to finger it.
Can I get you a spoon for that, Vicky?
Please. Please. Yeah. Oh my God. I haven't thought about that in a while. She's got her hand all the way in the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Get you a spoon for that.
Please.
Please.
Although, funny that you mentioned that, though. Just the other day, we were at the store, and I said I like it much better than Tuna Helper myself. Because we were talking about, we had something, I think we were talking about, like, we're like, oh, what meals should we have for the week? And I was like, well, we've got ground beef, we can make burgers. And Rachel's like, well, we can grab a hamburger helper. I was like, well, I like it better than Tuna Helper myself.
That actually, I think, at least for the amount I put in, it gives it, there's a nice little addition of flavor, and it holds up to it well, I think.
Yep. I would agree. Definitely add a little more spice. I would recommend that.
Just
have
maybe
some cinnamon,
augment.
some nutmeg.
And that's
augment it
not
a little bit.
necessarily, a bad, like you said, not a bad thing, because if you overdo it in the mix, you can't change that. I guess unless you dilute it with something else. Just maybe give it a little dusting of your favorite holiday spice.
Yeah, no, I think that totally works. It is just, that is the best of a non-actual traditional eggnog that I would say that I have had. So I definitely like the oat.
So if you have any vegan or just people who cannot handle the dairy and still want to have an eggnog,
Can't
or a
tolerate
nog.
lactose.
That's not eggnog. It's
Onog.
nog.
It's just not. Yeah, it's onog.
Onog.
It's Irish.
Oatmeal.
It's Irish.
It's onog. It's Irish.
Part of Trader Joe's Irish line.
Irish roots.
The onog never quits. Yeah, that is okay. So they do have a regular. I think I see they have a chocolate oat milk, correct? I think I saw that when I was searching and doing research for different things.
Yeah, that's good. I
do you use this on your cereal and stuff, or like what do you?
I do. In fact, we had a pumpkin oat beverage.
Oh,
we don't have it anymore, but like
what
in
was
September,
that called?
Pumpkin oat beverage.
Oaken.
Oaken.
Yeah.
Oaken. And that was good. Actually, I was
it's
using
Bob
that.
Oakenshield.
I was putting that on my cereal because we used to get a pumpkin granola that I'd buy like a box or bag or two of every year, and it was just a nice little, especially as fall was starting. I liked it, but we haven't had that for a little bit. But that pumpkin oat beverage on the cereal was actually really good. So, but we have a refrigerated and non-refrigerated. I prefer our refrigerated one. That I think there's just more body and a little more flavor to it. But the other one's good too. So
I wonder
this
what
is refrigerated.
I wonder what makes it non-shelf stable or like whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what that all the additives and preservatives. Oh wait, no.
Yeah. Wait a minute. But yeah, anyway, the link that I put in chat, if you guys want to look through that, it is a Reddit thread, so look at your own risk. People are going to be reviewing and saying whatever in there, but people do give some decent information. There's pictures of both sides of the box, so you can get some of that information, and then some people even typed out, like what the nutritional stuff was and the ingredients and things. So if you want to read a little bit more about it, but it just came out, and I definitely recommend it, even if Even if you like traditional eggnog, if you just want something a little different, want to save, I'm assuming this is less calories, I would think.
Yeah, I think it was, per serving was only like 80 or something. What did it say there? Of course, the serving is 1 ounce. No,
I was going to say, yeah.
70. 70 calories, which is going to be, we have a light and a regular.
Serving size half cup.
Oh, it's only 4 ounces. Okay.
So it's 140 calories.
So I'd have 8. Yeah.
Because who's not
Sure
who's having that?
You're going to have an 8 ounce cup.
Yeah, you're going to have an 8 ounce cup. Like those serving size stuff is so ridiculous.
I
I
know.
know they're trying to get it to like a certain amount, but that's just silly. Like, who would do that?
There's 32 servings in here.
Yeah, it says like
It's 32 ounces.
8 servings per container. So
yeah,
it's-
no, that'd be.
Yeah, it's a
I'd
1
cut
ounce.
that in half.
They're all 1 ounce, all 3 tablespoons.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what? You just kind of it's 3 eyedroppers.
Eyedropper.
Yeah, it's like you're doing CBD
4
oil,
drops.
but it's eggnog, oat milk to get their calorie count down. Ugh.
I like the little winter scarf on the oat.
Yeah, that is good. I like that too. Yeah, Trader Joe's always has at least good graphics and marketing and things. And apparently we should just be fully sponsored by Trader Joe's because tonight
probably
we're going
should.
to have another Trader
Yeah.
Joe's item as well. But before we get to that,
what do you got?
How was your week? How was your week? Anything,
How was the week?
Anything exciting? Anything?
Oh, I don't know.
Going
Do you want
on?
to have an update?
Oh, yeah.
Could
Yeah,
do
you got
that.
an update? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love
But I
to
don't
do
think
an
we had
update.
one last week.
I don't think we did either. We had so much going on last week.
There was a lot going
when
on.
we've got 4 beverages going
Yep.
and like we hadn't seen each other like in a little bit, or it felt like it. We just had stories. We had
Yep.
we have a news article to talk about too. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, let's do some of this. I think I got that out just in time there. We should be good. But it is time once again.
Yes. Team Fight Tactics story of the week. And the story of this story is what I'm about to say right now. Oh, sorry, I was going with my purred happily there. There was a new update, new patch.
Oh,
Yes, a
so
lot.
you've been reset.
We've been reset.
So the diamond has been taken away from
yes,
Pocket.
the diamond was taken away, but only to be put out there for her to pursue again.
I like it.
Which she is pursuing again. So,
She climbs that mountain.
They got rid of most of the champions from the previous build, brought in new ones, people I've never even heard of, new traits, all kinds of stuff. But once again, kind of resets everything, gets the brain going again, got to be
Okay.
thinking again, finding those.
But you haven't
builds.
been
I'm up
dabbling.
to
You haven't been dabbling in as much of that though lately. Though
I for this particular one, since there's so much information, I need a slower paced game. So I've gone back to the ranked games. now.
Oh, okay.
So I've been doing that just to kind of, like I said, get a feel and experience. Because sometimes that hyper roll, it is hyper.
So you're saying the hyper roll is actually where the real players play.
That's
'Cause
right.
You've got to be quick thinking and stuff like that.
Well,
You just
once
don't-
you've assimilated, and I have had to, I'm still assimilating and learning the builds, but yeah, I'm up to silver 1. Not sure where Pocket's at, if she wants to contribute. I know she had a first place finish today, so
Oh, nice.
earlier this morning. So
it was during a meeting.
yes, she was. Yeah, she was like, "Hang on, just a second. I got
So wait a minute.
got the carousel round. I got to get my items.
I've got to get my items.
So hold on. You can turn the camera off. So
That's true.
So yeah, so some new fun. You.
She's just gonna put one word per line. We're just gonna be holding on every little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. A little bit more regular.
What would you mean? I'm trying to think. So you.
You pretty much covered it.
Oh, okay. I covered it. All right, but I'm not sure where you're at as far as level.
Utu should be very happy
I
together.
think I know she's in silver. Maybe even got up to gold. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's been happening. Thanksgiving's 2 weeks from today.
Yeah. Thanksgiving is 2 weeks
Making
from today.
Thoughts
That's
and
exciting.
preparations, for that. Starting to get some. I bought the turkey today.
Oh, really? Okay.
So turkeys arrived at Trader Joe's today, and so did about at least 6, maybe 8 people when the door opened. They went right back for the turkey. We've had a sign out front for the last
Were you saying
12
when they were
days.
going to come in?
Yeah, turkeys will arrive here, and I get
Wow.
like Paco was telling me, and I was hearing from some coworkers
Now,
too.
Rebecca, counseling people is what I do. Please let me help you.
All right, Fraser. It's just that I can't seem to make anything work. Robin is in prison. I manage this crummy bar. My career is at a standstill. I'm miserable. I'm lonely. And now I have to sell my Mercedes.
I see. Well, I'll give you $5,000 cash and take up your payments.
6,000 firm.
Deal.
Thank you.
Damn, it's good to heal.
Lucky, thank you for that redemption. Always appreciate it. Good to see you, sir. How are you this fine evening? Damn, it feels good to heal. Nice. That's a good Lep emote. I like that one. But yeah, so you actually had a sign outside, and people.
It was like an A-frame board letting people know when they were coming, and yeah, so they arrived today. And normally, the day the turkeys first come in, we order a decent amount, but that first day, there's usually not a huge, overwhelming purchase of them. It sort of builds steam that second, third, fourth day. But like I said, today there were, at least 6, and it could have been more. And even
all right, Lucky, that sounds good. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate that. Good luck with your GMs.
And even then, we didn't. Normally, we last few years we've put them in the end cap of our freezer section because you can adjust you can adjust the temperature to turn it into a refrigerator.
Oh.
But we had to call in our service company to get that done, and they hadn't shown up yet. So we had them in this really small area. But people were, just descended upon. And one of my coworkers, he was like he called himself the turkey concierge because people were like, oh, you got a 16 there? I got a 6. He was like helping them find. And then Todd actually called him the turkey consigliere.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah, so
wow.
we even upgraded him there.
He was Tom all of a sudden.
So no, there. And I guess, like I'm saying, I've heard from a few people that I guess there's a concern that there could be a shortage.
That's what I was going to say. Like, I mean, not only I've seen like in general, like I guess food prices have gone up. They were saying like an average anywhere from 5 to 6.5%. So that's gone up. And then, the shortages with, I know we have a lot of probably homegrown turkeys and things, but so just shortages of all kinds. Cause I was already like out buying some things and seeing that like it was hard to find. I mean, we actually had trouble finding the pork sausage for the stuffing this year.
I was hearing, Baker was telling me
that was 100% true.
Story,
Finally, we actually, between the two of us at different stores, we found the stuff we always use. So that was at least
the
good.
stuff for the stuffing.
Yeah. Like I said, it was interesting. Like I said, because Fry's was out of it, and then it was like Safeway didn't have, and it was going back and forth. And then we found it at another place, and it was just like, so between the two of us, because she had already bought extra of a different one, but now she's like, oh, we can just use the one we had. So now we have like all this extra, like random sausage and stuff.
All kinds of stuffing.
I know. All kinds of stuffing. LG, how's it going?
LG's
Good to see you. Yeah, we were just enjoying some of the first beverage there. We enjoyed some Trader Joe's Onog non-dairy oat beverage, and then we put a little bit of, I put the graphic down. Put some whiskey in it too. You got to do that. Got to make a smart eggnog and see how that goes.
Yeah,
and it worked. It was good. It was one of the better, like I said, definitely probably the best of the non-actual eggnogs, of the non-dairy-based eggnogs. Let's say that.
You probably aren't putting, at least I wouldn't be probably putting a $60 or $70.
Not normally, no.
But like you said, you were towards
but
the
a
end of your
spicy
bottle,
whiskey. I'm like just kind of wanting the space in my bar for that bottle in particular.
Yep.
So we're kind of working to get rid of that. But maybe the one we have later in the show may actually be the perfect one for that. Maybe it could be the mixer. Maybe it could be the sipper, and hit a lot of different things, including this man's price point that he always likes to find too. Because that's the hardest thing with the bourbon. We've had a lot of bourbons where you're like, oh, that's pretty good, and I'll say the price like, oh, I don't know if I have pride. It's like it keeps, man. It's not like it goes. It's not like
I know
it's not like a $40. Yeah, you do know that it keeps. I'm surprised that you just never come home ever and just think like, oh man, that's fine.
Yeah, I usually go wine or beer.
Sometimes I don't want that much like liquid. Like sometimes it's like, oh, I want some alcohol, but
that's why I pour my beer now from up here and get rid of all the.
That's true.
The bubbles.
Yeah,
bubbles.
Yeah, I haven't picked it up, but I ordered from Tap and Bottle today. I ordered like 6 or 7 different things. I ordered something from Modern Times that I think I had when I was in California, but I actually got it because I was like, oh my gosh, a hazy IPA for $2 or $2.50. I was like, oh my God, I'll take 2 of those.
Wow.
Everything else was like $5. I was like, everything's just kind of painful when you want to try some new stuff. But
it's on the way up for sure.
I have not looked at what Pueblo Vita has had in quite a while. I need to do that again as well. I have not searching for their things.
Friend of the show, Todd, had texted me. I guess they did a collaboration beer with Caps and Corks for like an anniversary or something. It was Pueblo
Tombstone
Vita.
did too.
Oh, really? I don't know if I still have it.
Because I was shocked that I saw that it was at Tap and Bottle. They had the Caps and Corks Tombstone collaboration beer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Pueblo Vita, Caps and Corks.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so they worked with a couple local breweries. That's cool.
Albatross.
Okay.
Double IPA. But he was again singing their praises, the Pueblo Vita praises, which I like their stuff. I just the few things I had when I went down there on my birthday, they were good. I just wasn't like necessarily like, oh wow. So
you're drinking a sour right now. Ooh, what sour are you having, LG? I just want to check and make sure I'm not giving out false information here. I could have sworn it was that though. I think they weren't sold out. Oh yeah, here it is. Is it this one? No. Yeah, collaboration with Caps and Corks.
Okay.
This one's called The Pit. It's a triple IPA.
Oh wow.
I didn't get it. Thought about it, but I didn't.
Okay.
Sierra Nevada Hibiscus Guava.
Okay.
Oh, I did order. It's gluten cheat night. Woo. I was about to say, I was like, wait a minute. Anytime I suggest something like, oh, sorry. Oh, look, they have the strawberry shortcake sours back.
Ooh. Oh, I should get that. I actually like that Pilsner too.
But what was the, I saw, so actually you were already talking about in a couple, like we won't have this will be the last podcast for a couple weeks before Thanksgiving. So after Thanksgiving, we'll come back with some kind of fun, very celebratory beers. But I did find, and I ordered a can of the Sierra Nevada Celebration. So I already got one of those.
A can?
Yeah.
But did they? I mean, just their usual?
Yeah, it's their it's their fresh hop, whatever.
Okay, cool.
But it's their celebration. We've been doing this for 87 years.
It
seems like we have one of those every year.
And it's available at the places. I try to order it for the store, and it doesn't ship, so I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, they had it. Actually, they had it here.
Yeah, no, it's funny. And I used to, like...
When LG said that, it made me think of it.
An IPA from Sierra for the holiday beer was always like, what?
Oh, I must have got it just in time. Amir Haha.
Amir Haha.
I'm going to go with just Amir. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I got it just in time, but I did order one of these, and now it's sold out.
Okay.
So we'll see. Sierra Nevada Celebration.
I think they'd be able to come. Oh, I drank my barrel-aged narwhal a couple weeks ago that you'd gotten me a while back.
Oh, nice.
Oh, man, that's so good.
That is a good one. I've got like
delicious.
A bunch of like darker beers, so I'm kind of, I didn't do anything else, but I ordered a bunch of stuff. I'm not sure if everybody out there is familiar with, I don't know if you've heard of Adroit Theory Brewing, but I had one of theirs the other day that I had just hanging out, and it was just so good. I was like, I have to get more stuff from them because everything I always, so I ordered one of each of these. Most of these are IPAs of some sort, but their names are so good. Their names are so good. The Death of Civilization in Slow Motion, Volume 1. I was reading this on chat like earlier, I think during the week when I was gaming again, and it was like everyone was like, "Oh my god, these sound like heavy metal albums." Death Still Edition, Fear Edition, and then there's a Dia de los Muertos. This one's actually a dark beer.
Okay.
Martyr Warrior Edition. What was this one? Semi-sweet malt body against the dry roasted notes of dark chocolate and coffee enveloped in a full jet black body. It's like, that sounds good. But yeah, most of the other ones were hazy IPAs, doubles, things like that. There was one that had some cashmere hops in it, I think, too. I was like, ooh, that sounds good. I was like, I'm just going to get one of each of these. But yeah, there was some other stuff, too, from what was that brewery we had some really weird beers from. And it was like they did all blended kind of beers. I can like picture the graphic right now. It was like, it wasn't Eldon. It was like what was it? The can was like almost like black or like it was like gold, and it had like an autumn looking scene on it. And it was like a blended.
It was like a sled or something.
They had another one of those, and I just couldn't do it because I think I've had two
Sled
from them.
Hill or something Hill or
something. Yeah, maybe Sled Hill.
Okay, something. Yeah,
it might have been in here somewhere. Oh, they have the AleSmith, the Madagascar Vanilla, and Cinnamon Speedway. That's pretty good too. I didn't grab that though. There was some Drecker stuff. I don't know. It was another like, I had a Drecker. I had one of the Brains the other day. It was the raspberry mango, and it was delicious. But also I was like, man, it's like $6.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's hitting me right now, but I was just like, ugh. It's just like, geez. So this was my idea, and I almost talked about this off stream, but I wanted to hit you with this while I was here in front of all of you. I want your true reaction to this. So you ready? All right. So maybe not necessarily, every website. But like I said, we have a local bottle shop that we love going to. We have several different bottle shops, but this is the one we love going to. What if not only could you search by name and all these, what if you could search by price, plus or minus? I would love to search by all beers under $4, like or something.
Well,
like that to me would be like really cool because it takes me usually going through sections where I'm like, I'll buy more. I buy plenty of expensive stuff, but like every once in a while, it's like I'd like to buy 3 or 4 of something that's good. That's like Phantom. Like I know I can always go Belching Beaver Phantom Bride. That's usually like $2 or $3. Like I'll look that up right now.
Well, that's like I know like Fitz. He'll go with he buys the Weekend Vibes IPA. That's less than $2 a can.
Phantom Bride IPA 232.
Yeah.
Like that is like a solid one that if people are saying like, oh, what are some hazies to get into because it's not over the top, it's still really good. Right. I think I even talked about this with LG one time when he was asking me like some different beers to either grab. Like I think that came up with you and I because I was putting them in Discord because we were talking about that's the best way to do it. You were traveling somewhere, wasn't that what it was? I hope I'm not misremembering. Hope I'm not Roger Clemensing it. But it was pre-gluten cheat. Okay. Maybe that's what it was. But anyway, like I said, but that's like one that's easy to recommend because it's not like I'm asking you to shell out $5. Like I said, a couple bucks, like people are still, $3 or less. I just wish you could, and maybe that I'm in a weird thing, but that would be the one thing I wish you could search for is say less than, like you could say less than and put a price.
Well, you can
because
do
a lot
that.
of times I'll see Bottle Logic stuff and I'm like, and everything's $7, $8. So I'm like,
and you can do that. Like I know at Amazon and different sites, you can, this is what I'd like to, or a rating system. I'd like,
you can literally go
4
down
and above and
you can go down
click
and
off the boxes.
Right. I think that would be nice if it was just like ranges of anything like, and I'm not even looking for a specific beer, just like any beer. We were headed to Phoenix for a birthday. Yes. Okay. That's what it was. Okay. I remember that. But yeah, they had a lot of like, good stuff, that were options there. There was a pumpkin beer. I almost got it, but then I didn't. I was like, by the time we drink this.
Oh, I still have the peanut butter and jelly. Pocket saw that in the fridge the other day. She's like, ooh, you have a peanut butter and jelly sour? I've said, yeah, that's the one at the end. So we will enjoy that sometime soon.
But so that same
strawberry shortcake.
Energy City has the pumpkin parfait bistro. Recently learned how awesome Whole Foods is. Really? Whole Foods sometimes can have a decent selection of beer. Sometimes they're a little lacking.
They used to, but the one up by us,
unless you're talking about other things.
Yeah, and Whole Foods has some good stuff.
They have Stone reduced gluten hazy for under $10. Oh, the delicious IPA.
Is there another one, or is that a hazy? A delicious? Maybe it is. Yeah, that one. Okay. We have Trader.
I don't know.
Well, you don't have a Trader Joe. That's right. You have Whole Foods in where you are. I know. So.
I always forget how much that one usually is. Like I forgot to look at what Stone was, like at what they had. Remove delicious IPA. Yeah, so $2. $2 a can here, a little less than $2.
Yeah, no,
we were really
I know.
salad. You need a Trader Joe's.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a journey from your neck of the woods to get to the closest Trader Joe's, but as well as the closest Costco.
If you ever think about moving, when we were in San Francisco, a lot of Trader Joe's down the Fisherman's Wharf area. Would you like to work there?
I don't know if I'd want to live in San Francisco necessarily. It is expensive.
You think?
But I do like visiting there for sure.
They're currently second right now. They usually are the top most expensive city. They're behind New York again.
Oh,
wow. Down.
Okay, yeah.
At least that's what it was like a month or two ago when we went to San Francisco on the tour. They were talking about that. But yeah, anyway. So I didn't order there, but that was one of those things. Like I'd ordered like 5 or 6 things. I think I wound up getting like 10 or 11 beers. And I ordered like 5 or 6. And then also I was like, I need to think of a few that are just like.
It makes the average better.
That's what I need to do.
You have like,
I need to average out my beer cost. Yeah, that's true though.
Well, and that's the thing, and not just to buy a beer because it's inexpensive, but to buy it because it hits. I like this flavor, and it's the right price.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy it just because it's cheap. It was this one right here, this Modern Times Dungeon Map.
Oh, okay.
Inexpensive, and it's actually really good. I've had this on draft before.
Okay.
So that was another. So I think I got 2 or 3 of those.
That's a 12 ounce?
It's a 12 ounce.
Okay.
Yeah.
But still, I mean.
I think our closest is Prescott.
Yep.
Prescott.
That's correct.
Is that true?
Prescott.
They've got the seltzers now. Have you had any of the Modern Times seltzers yet?
I have not.
I'm assuming that's what these bubble parties are.
Oh, man. It's a bubble party and everyone's invited.
Yeah, we should try one of those, I guess. I should have
All right,
ordered
the things
one.
we'll do for our listeners on our website.
What do you think
Try
sounds the
those
best? Like if I go down and pick my beers up tomorrow and I see one of these and just grab it. Modern Times Cloudberry Dream, Cucumber Lime, Grapefruit, Tangerine Fiesta. That kind of sounds good.
That or Cloudberry Dream was the one that jumped out to me.
Outrageously delightful flavors. Tangerine. And what? And Source?
Of tangerine and sorcel.
And Soothe the
Outrageously
Soul.
delightful flavors of tangerine.
I've never heard of that word before. I don't think
And
that's a word.
sorcel the taste buds and soothe the soul.
I don't think that's a real word.
And
What's Cloudberry
Sorcel?
Dream? Oh, and Sorcel taste buds and soothe the soul.
And sorcel.
So Cloudberry is an actual thing? Is Cloudberry an actual fruit? I disagree.
I don't think so.
Cloudberry is a managed backup. What is a plant? Cloudberry is a
okay.
plant.
So, and sorcel is a word.
Okay, what the hell does it mean?
To enchant or fascinate.
Well, that describes how I
so
feel about
here's
that
your
word.
language lesson for the evening.
Inspiring words
and
from a man who knows how to ski.
And sorcel. Verb, enchant, fascinate.
Cloudberry, also called salmonberry, yellowberry, bake apple, bakeberry, malka, or baked appleberry, creeping herbaceous plant in the rose family, native to the Arctic and subarctic regions of the north temperate zone, and its edible raspberry-like fruit. In theory, in my head, I thought it might be like a raspberry. I don't know. So do you like raspberry or tangerine? That sounds like one of those things where marketing people just get together and they're just like...
And sorcel the taste buds. Fascinate and enchant the taste buds.
It's so funny too, and you can tell the person that started Modern Times used to work for Stone Brewing.
Okay.
You can tell that the way they describe their beer, like it's literally like, whereas Stone Brewing does a little bit more like in your face aggressive. You're gonna like this,
Yeah, and a long story.
and a long
Used to be.
story. Modern
miss
Times does long story, aggressive, but kind of more like happy and delightful.
Yeah.
like
Oh,
they
yeah.
just kind of like turn,
Yeah.
but they literally do the same thing. Why don't they just use a raspberry? I don't fucking know.
because they,
Like seriously, like it's
because
so,
they're modern times. Damn it.
yeah, because they're Modern Times. they had a great deal on Cloudberries that week. Maybe it's like pork futures and stuff like that. People are always looking at the market and they're like, "Oh my god, Cloudberries are down 100%. I'll buy a couple gross of
I'll
those."
get them.
Instead of a weird raspberry found somewhere near the Arctic Circle. I thought for sure Cloudberry was just the name of the seltzer and it was a blend of multiple different types of berries, not an actual berry. But we learned two things today.
Yeah, I'm sure they have other flavors added to that too. It's probably not 100% Cloudberry.
Yeah. What so in Sorcel,
Enchant and fascinate.
or is it Ensorcell?
Ensorcell?
Yeah, which also sounds like a weird like aerobic activity.
Ensorcell.
I'm gonna Ensorcell.
I'm gonna center right, center left, center right. Everyone, it's time to ensorcel. Ensorcel. Wait, that's Excelsior.
Excelsior Ensorcel. I feel like some wine.
Yeah.
Do you feel like some wine?
Let's
Should we-
do
should
that.
we go get some
Maybe We'll
wine?
get that opened up and
Let's get a podcast going.
let's do that.
All right, we're going to clean out our glasses. We're going to get the rest of this eggnog refrigerated, and we're going to go grab the first wine of the evening, which is also a Trader Joe's thing. Again, hashtag when are we getting sponsored?
And
I mean, you have the inside word, right? Isn't that
yeah,
the-
right.
Did you ever get any of the, I know, at least in my brain, the hop water, but grapefruit?
No, I never saw it.
Because I never heard back from that man again.
Yeah, I
He was an
have-
interesting fellow.
I hadn't seen their hop water at Whole Foods for a while, but I did see it recently. They moved it actually to in their beer section. They used to have it. I think they were just trying to find out where it fit, because I think I found it a couple times with the soda. I found it one time with the water. So this most recent time,
Shouldn't it be with, like,
I
seltzers and
I
things?
happened to see it in their beer section. But no, I never saw that, and yeah, I never saw the grapefruit flavor, because I thought that would have really been
I thought that sounded
a
interesting.
good component, and
Yeah.
yeah, we were more than willing to try that. So
Yeah, and we were actually going to supposedly talk with some people there or something
Yeah.
like that. There was like a whole thing, and
yeah,
then
we were
never came back to us again.
Yeah.
I should just reach out to him to see if the man's alive. I feel bad.
say, hey,
Hey,
still making your delicious hot water. I like it. In fact,
I thought it was good. I haven't bought it in a long time just because I haven't seen it, and the price kept going up too.
Yeah, it was what, like $9 for a 4-pack, and then but I did find
beer is cheaper. They're not no joke.
Yeah, I found some hop tea, which Eric had turned me on to at one time, and that was really good. I found that on sale, I don't know, a month or two ago when I was there. I bought a few of those, and it's really good. It's good. It's a good way to get some hop flavor and get a little tea action in there as well. But once again, that's also, it's normal prices, like $3 a can too. So
really?
Yeah. So one time I got it on sale. But
last thing before I know we were just about to go to break, but also this reminded me of 4 other things. So when I was walking around Total Wine today, picking up the whiskey that we're going to have in a little bit, strolled down the aisles, saw Scott, didn't have a chance to talk to him, but I did see him. He was busy talking with some other people.
He said it's just too early yet. It's not time.
Yeah, he's like, do you need anything yet?
Yeah.
But anyway, so I happened to walk down because they've did I tell you that they've reorganized everything there? Did I go through that speech?
I think you have. I haven't been there in so long.
They've moved everything, it's like the bourbons, and I think all the bourbons are over here. And then I think American whiskey is down the one aisle. Then the aisle on the other side now has the expensive cabinet, but then it has some other stuff. And then you have to go another aisle completely over to get to rye whiskey. It's like weirdly separated out. Anyway, so there's like a whole section, cottage industry, of like flavored vodka. There's flavored whiskeys, which we don't even dabble in, other than a peanut butter whiskey if we ever eventually make some shakes. It probably would give me the shakes actually trying that. But anyway,
hippie shakes.
But I happened to walk by because I had seen in the other aisle when I was picking out a gin, which we'll have a new gin probably when we come back in a couple of weeks to try, that there was a distillery there called Three Howls. Have you heard of this? Mm-hmm. It was not very expensive. Like it was in the $20, which always kind of, I'm like, I don't know. It's one of those weird things. It could be the most delicious thing ever. And I'm like, $20, that seems cheap for gin.
Yeah.
I'd pay a little more than that. But anyway, they had a couple different ones there. But what caught my eye was when I saw the Three Howls logo down the flavored whiskey aisle, and it was Three Owls hop flavored whiskey.
Okay.
Layering Northwest hops, including Amarillo, Horizon hops on a foundation of Chinook, creating a whiskey like no other. Strong, flowery citrus nose and lingering flavors of pine and exotic spice that hang on the palate. 2018 San Francisco Double Gold winner. I was like,
hop gin?
Hop whiskey.
Hop whiskey. Huh.
Okay. And it's a light whiskey, as you can see. Sorry, you guys can't see it.
Yeah.
So it's probably not super mature. It doesn't say anything on there.
But you didn't buy that.
I did not. But for $22, I think we may have to try that. That might be our first foray into flavored whiskey, which again, I'm still not a huge fan of. But I was like, that is an interesting, that kind of like does another layer of not like, since they're actually using real hops as the flavoring and not just like, we're doing, an extract or whatever else in there.
Right.
And I did see that they had that Fall of Troy or whatever was Belching Beaver is out again.
Oh, it was back. Okay.
Yeah. So, but get the other one that we had. Either Juice and Voorhees or...
What's in the hops? No, not that.
Yeah, no, not that one. All right. I swear to God now. We're going to a break. We'll be right back with some wine. Should we come back? Should we do it?
I don't know.
You think they'll even
the computer let us?
I hope so. Oh, God. Wow. Thanks for cursing me.
No, it did.
Man.
It did.
It did. It made it back. Thank God we're back, and you're back, and we're all here. The name of this song is from the Harris Heller Stream Beats Rock. It's called Fjord.
Fjord.
I just had to say it because it's just too funny.
It's a good word to say.
It's Fjord. Which I think is that Scandinavian for like barrel or something like that, or
isn't it a stream? Or something?
It's a long, narrow, deep inlet of the sea between high cliffs, as in Norway and Iceland, typically formed by submergence of a glacial valley. Well, there's a lot of glacial valleys like
Fjord.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's Fjord Jorgensen.
Bjorn Bjork.
Bjorn Jorgensen.
Yeah, I have a terrible thing to report.
Yeah, hang on to your yacht strap. Yeah, fjord is just a good fun word to be able to say.
Yump and Yemeni, no.
All right, we're going to record a podcast, and if we're going to do that, we have to take a few things off of the screen. Not too many, just a few.
Don't say we have to take a few things off.
Could be bad. Could be very bad. Why is that? I don't know why the camera has moved just enough where that's there. So now I'm going to have to hold on. Hold, please.
I'm to adjust. He is a perfectionist.
I am a little bit. That's got to come.
Nothing wrong with that.
Just a touch. And then we get to scoot down. How about that? There we go. Okay. You could see the mouse and you could see that little corner. I apologize. The first hour was complete sham. It's awful.
Yeah.
Not that kind of podcast.
No. We don't want that. We try something, clothing comes. Wait, no. Hey. No.
This is when. Okay, now we can take the clothing off. We have to, This is how we remain within terms of service. But if we, for some reason.
Ooh, spooky vision. Where are they? Oh, there they are.
Shame.
Uh-oh.
Shame. It's like Vegas. Yeah, what happens on the podcast has to stay with the camera off. Apparently, we can't record.
Debo is here.
Debo, it is good to see you.
To talk food?
Never
No.
know.
You never know.
Debo is putting actually some drink recipes in Discord, ! Discord, if you want to hit
receipts.
that up and go check out some of the drink things that he's got going in the drink database. I think there was some holiday stuff going on. I need to go double check now so I don't misrepresent what he's putting in there. Yeah. Oh, it was for Prohibition Day. It was repeal cocktails and things. And then there was also apple cider donuts.
Oh, okay.
And then there was also peppermint patty drink. So we got some things there. Anyway.
We now have we have the eggnog.
We did eggnog earlier, oat based.
And the Trader Joe's has the liqueur, eggnog liqueur. We now have a peppermint JoJo's liqueur, as well as a gingerbread and the cocoa that we had last year. So yeah, some people were talking about combining the peppermint and the cocoa one into making.
Oh, and those are liqueur. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So a couple of them are vodka based. I'm alive.
I'm alive.
It's alive. Oh, no.
It's dying from this. I thought you were feeling better, Debo. You said the fever had gone down. Are you still battling it? I'm sorry, bud. I don't like to hear that. Two quick things we need to talk about. I know we were about to do a podcast. Actually, let's do the podcast. Remind me to come back and talk about two things.
You hear that, viewers? In case I forget.
That's right. Remind us. Remind us.
To talk about a few things. We might not talk about anything. We might come back and just... Oh, yeah, guys, talk about that. Oh, yeah. Okay.
The fever, like Arthur, is stubborn and hits like a horse. Oh, I'm sorry, Debo. Keep getting good rest, though. Lots of fluids. What else? Ibuprofen and
the fever
Tylenol
does
back
as
and
it
forth.
pleases.
The fever does as it pleases. It's true. Keep doing all those things. So by the time this podcast actually finally hits, the holidays, Thanksgiving specifically, at least for us, at least here in America, will be right around the corner. And definitely for me, I know usually I do bring over some beer to your wonderful home, but I also always think wine.
Yeah.
And we always have the debate, like, what should we have? I try and find something new. You're always trying to find different things. So we're trying to offer suggestions to everybody. And you have something, right? You've kind of come up at least with another option after last week's, which was great.
I hope so.
Last week's Chardonnay that we did, go in the archives at AboutBeverages.com or on YouTube. Check that out. Watch that video. I think that's definitely one to look for.
The Rayburn
But
Chardonnay.
yeah, but this is another Trader Joe's item, correct?
It is. Well, the Rayburn wasn't, but yes, this is.
Yeah, the Rayburn could be found at Trader Joe's,
Yes.
but you could find it other places. But this got to go to the source.
That is absolutely correct.
Okay, so we've got a Platinum Reserve Pinot Noir.
That is correct.
For this, give it a shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith, and we are AboutBeverages.com. And the beverage that we're about today is the... I was going to say... I don't even know what I was going to say.
What were you going to say?
I was going to try to... Yeah.
Good news, though. Angel's Envy is in. Bad news, can't drink it. Hold off on drinking that until you can.
How about if I start from I'm Keith?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm Keith, and we are AboutBeverages.com. And the beverage that we're about today is the 2019 Platinum Reserve Carneros Pinot Noir from Trader Joe's.
All right. Whew. That is quite a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
And hopefully on the palate, it's also a mouthful.
I was debating. We were talking about bringing something over last week while we were on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages which we are most Thursday nights. We were talking about me bringing something over that maybe was not a super expensive one, something, but also not like a really like super value wine. And I was debating going back and forth between the Carneros Grand Reserve Pinot Noir, which is a couple dollars cheaper than this, but I've always loved it. It's got a classic California Pinot Noir taste. But then this had come in, and we don't often get Pinot Noirs under the Platinum Reserve, which is the highest, well, pretty much the highest that you can get at Trader Joe's. And they feel that these wines under the label of the winery would sell for in the $25, $30, $40 range. So,
okay.
So, but I thought, well, one of the reasons why I picked this one is because, well, you were able to find the graphics easily.
Which I appreciated.
And it was
like
so
a
close.
ton.
That just pushed it over the decision over the
if
edge.
If it was a $10 difference, I'll do the work. Like, but yeah, it sounded like it was only. I don't know the exact price, but it was a couple dollars difference, like you said.
Yeah, and
So-
like I said, I was debating between the two, and I was like, okay, well, that clinched it.
And let's just get right to the top, because we were talking about, like, when you do usually if you're going over to someone's house, especially for a dinner or a holiday get together or something like that, you go a little bit more with your budget. And so that's, like I said, kind of what you've been doing the last few weeks in trying a few more of these, which like I said, again, I appreciate that. Color wise, it's nice, and obviously the clarity is good. Just kind of a nice little red, kind of burgundy kind of color.
Yeah, and it is that lighter kind of you get with the classic Pinot or California Pinot style. You can kind of not see through it easily, but you can.
No, it's
you can see through it, and that's that lighter body. There are darker styles of Pinot Noir, but this is not that style.
Once I finish this, I can say that I can see clearly now the Pinot's gone.
The Pinot's gone. That's right.
But we haven't gotten there yet. Let's do the aroma.
Yes.
Ooh, that is raspberry jam. Sorry, I could not wait. Like that just like jumped out. That is like really jammy. Like that is raspberry, like preserves actually, like raspberry or strawberry preserves. Nice little sweetness in there. Some other like black currant as well, like some darker fruit. That smells really good.
Yeah, for us to go right into that.
Sorry, I couldn't.
You were overwhelmed. No, that's good.
The aroma just hit me right away.
That's good.
What are you thinking on that?
Well, I wanted to give mine a little swirl there to release some of the aromas there.
That might be. If I'm glad I didn't swirl, it would have been too much. I would have just passed out and fallen to the ground. Okay.
Yeah, definitely has the raspberry, but which would be a high kind of a note. But then there's a little bit of something darker, maybe like a black raspberry, bringing that.
And a little
bringing that in,
and a little bit of light sweetness in there, but the that smells awesome. It does not smell like a Pinot that I've had in a very. I haven't gone by the name of Obi-Wan since before. No, it seems like it's. I have not smelled a Pinot Noir like that in a long time. Okay, this is very promising.
Bars up here now.
It kind of is like, but let's go. Let's see. I can see clearly now the Pinot's gone. I can see all the grape varietals in my way. And these actually are Pinot Noir glasses. I rarely get to break these out.
Yeah.
These are the perfect.
We've used them for something else, I think, but
Pinot Noir.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Only Pinot Noir.
Well, because you got me those other glasses that I pretty much used for everything else.
Yeah.
Those have been great. Roast beef sandwich right now sounds fantastic, and Debo's hitting up the Discord. Oh my god, like it's a full menu. Potato rolls, stuffed mushrooms, garlic mashed potatoes, ranch seasoned roast turkey, dark chocolate bourbon pecan pie. Oh my god, Debo!
Wow.
Everyone, please, right now, immediately go to the Discord. Debo's posting your full Thanksgiving menu in there. That all looks awesome.
LG wants to know.
What makes a Pinot glass a Pinot glass? Just the size, like honestly, like as silly as that. Oh, there we go. It's a much larger kind of bowl at the bottom, and then it still does what it actually is kind of like a larger Teku glass in a way.
Yeah,
because it
focuses
back a little bit, but there's just, like I said, there's a lot more heft down to the bottom of the glass. I'm not sure why that's exactly necessary, but that's what whenever I've seen an actual traditional Pinot Noir glass, it has looked like this. It has been a much larger glass, because when you have Zinfandels and other things that we use, it's a much thinner glass, narrower.
Yeah, cabs usually have the more bowl shaped ones. Yeah.
Yeah, cab is like very like almost like rounded, right?
Yeah.
Like that one almost
would be like this before it goes back out.
Yeah, a cab is literally almost
Cut it
like
up
circular.
like
this one, so I don't know. I would have to do more research into why that is, but I'm assuming, like I said, it just gives you more room to kind of.
That's what the salesman. That's yeah.
Yeah,
That's the Pinot Noir glass.
That's the Pinot Noir glass. No, if you look them up, that's usually what they look like. So that's what makes them. That is just, I guess, size matters when it comes to Pinot. Unfortunately, that's why I'm so much more a fan of all other wines.
When it comes to Pinot Noir glass. All right.
So you gonna see the size of your Pinot?
Yes. And I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
Let's see how you handle it. All right. Taste?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. You sure?
Get a little bit of the alcohol. I don't know what the alcohol content is, but I think there's a little bit in there
Yeah.
that I think will dissipate if it open. We opened this just before we came in and began to podcast, so it hasn't been open for too long. Obviously, it's getting a chance to decant here in these glasses, but there's a little bit of that. But I do get that raspberry is still there. It's not as heavy for me as it was in the aroma.
I would agree.
It's on the lighter side, and like I said, there's a little bit of heat I think that's taking away from some of the other things going on in there. So it probably just needs a little time.
Yeah, for me, the taste is flipped a little bit. I'm getting more of the darker fruit, like either more toward the black raspberry or toward like either a black currant. There's some darker fruit notes in there, maybe even a little bit of like a dark chocolate or a semi-sweet chocolate. There's something that's a little bit has like that kind of fruit tinge to it that's kind of has a weight to it. Yeah, a little bit of alcohol. I get some of the raspberry preserve at the back. I wish I got a little bit more of that than the taste. But this is still really has some good complexity and matches similar to what I got in the aroma. The aroma for me is like it was, like you said, it's up here, and the taste is kind of just down here, just like a little bit. But this is excellent. This is still really good.
But I think what I look for, like in Carneros Pinots and this style, I like when you get some of those cola-y notes that come out in there.
Okay.
This doesn't quite have any of those. I think they might be there, and they might not be, even when that heat dissipates. But no, it's very good.
Yeah. So this is the top of the top.
Well, yeah, I mean, except for the one time we had the diamond, which was
Right.
$20.
Okay. So is this like 16?
This is 15.
15? Okay.
Yeah, 15.
I mean, I think for what is in here, I think for 15, like especially for a Pinot Noir, like this is because usually Pinots, at least for me, the ones that I wind up liking, like if it's under 20, I'm kind of happy. Like, you know, like there are some that I have but if I'm really gonna be like, oh, this one's really good and one that I can recommend, usually that's kind of where it starts out at, and then it's usually more the 20 to 30 range, if not a little more of stuff that has, you know, the real complexity to it and character. But this is, like I said, yeah, this is I can definitely see how an actual winery, if they put their label on it, this would probably be a $25 bottle.
Right.
And I think the flavors there justify that for the most part. But yeah, if you're finding this for 15, if that's something you wanted to bring to it, I would think most people will be pretty happy with this. And it'll be interesting as we, like I said, it won't make it as part of this podcast, but if you go watch the full archive on YouTube that we have up there, we'll probably sit with this for a little bit and see if some more of those notes come out. So that's always kind of the fun behind the scenes stuff that you get when you're hanging out
when you watch,
for the live show.
Hang out with us.
And if you aren't able to do that or don't want to use YouTube for some reason, which I don't know who doesn't use YouTube, I don't think that's possible. We do have a website, AboutBeverages.com. It's a great place you can go because it's got everything that we have ever done. For more than a decade, we have been doing podcasts and recipes and videos and stories and all kinds of things. So definitely go check that out if you are interested. If you only want audio, Google Podcast, iTunes, Spotify, all of those things are available to you. If there is a favorite podcast app that you use, just search for About Beverages. We are probably there. And if we're not, let us know. And we'll try and make it so.
So we can be there.
Yeah, we'll try and Jean-Luc Picard it, and we'll make it so. But we also have some social media things. We got some...
what do we call them? The pillars.
Pillars. That's right.
The pillars
That's
of
right.
social media.
Columns.
Columns, yes. Pillars and columns.
Phil Collins?
Phil Collins?
That was when he did his Live from Rome appearance?
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins.
Or pillars, as we do say. Which are Instagram... TikTok and Twitter, which is the one that we use most often to keep you up to date with what's happening at About Beverages. Like earlier tonight when I tweeted that we were about to go live on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages, which is what we do most Thursday evenings at 5:30 Mountain time.
4:30 Pacific.
4:30 Pacific, 7:30 East
Eastern.
Coast. Yes, there's it all changed, so we're getting used to that now.
Yep.
So, yeah, come hang out with us on Thursday evenings. We try some beverages. We talk about whatever happens to come up, news, current events, stories. How was your week? All that kind of stuff. But yeah, follow us on Twitter. Actually, no, I forgot too, because throughout the week. Andrew let you know what game he's going to be playing.
Oh, that's true. That's why
true.
Twitter's good too. I almost forgot too.
Yeah, I know it totally. I was like, wait a minute. There's something else.
There's another piece.
That's right.
There's another layer to this pie.
More days of the week. You're doing that. He'll let you know what he's going to be playing and what he's going to be enjoying while he's doing that. So follow us on Twitter.
But as we always say, whether we like it or not,
you should give it a shot.
And that is a podcast.
Yeah, the other Carneros, the Grand Reserve, I always remember as having more of that kind of cola, which I like more of that note coming through. So I don't know, maybe I'll get a bottle of that for Thanksgiving or something, unless we decide to go with this. But
this is very good though,
yeah.
Especially that price. That is a good price.
Yeah.
I enjoy that mini menu of food. I know we were just talking about during the podcast, Debo. You literally put together an entire Thanksgiving feast. That looks awesome. Those mushroom caps, especially, like, oh my God, stuffed mushrooms. Like I said, the garlic mashed potatoes, the turkey. Will you be making any of these things, Debo? Or are you going to actually be trying any of these things, or do you have something you're going to go for? Who knows? All right. So I actually remembered, if I'm not sick enough, Debo, please feel better. My gosh.
It's 2 weeks away. Get better.
It is time. All right. So
Just
two things
better.
we wanted to talk about. One of them, I'll do the quick and easy one is actually, since you were talking about the liqueurs and things like that.
Okay.
There's a new flavored vodka in town that we may have to try. I don't know if you're interested. Pulling up the article here. I had multiple people reach out to me about this one, which is funny, like literally on the same day. So I have the website.
Vodka.
I have the website bookmarked.
Okay.
Want some fries in that vodka? Arby's rolls out limited edition fry flavored booze. So it is like
Arby's?
seasoned curly fry vodka.
Oh,
and it's specifically Arby's is selling it only through their through like a website. It's like literally Arby's.
We have the meats and we have the flavored vodka.
Yep.
Arby's. We have the flavored vodka.
Look at the picture. It's the seasoned curly fry. It's on the bottle.
Oh my gosh. Why?
Does that
Why?
Yeah, I had multiple people reach out to me with this.
That's a problem, I think. That is a problem. When you need to have vodka that tastes like fries or fries that have vodka, yeah, there's something wrong with it.
On Tuesday, the fast food chain announced the release of a limited edition Arby's curly fry and crinkle fry vodka. It's the latest,
there's a difference.
It sounds like it. It's the latest creative spin that companies are trying to put on traditional consumer favorites. 80 proof spirits are made from potato vodka and distilled with real ingredients inspired by the brand's curly and crinkle fry flavor profiles. Products retail for $60 and will be available in limited quantities on November 18th and a second drop on November 22nd on arbysvodka.com.
Wow. Now, if it made like a Jamocha shake.
For you guys, we may have to do it. I have the site bookmarked. The site only has a countdown timer on it, so I'll have to see when that actually is hitting the timer.
$60?
I know. I probably won't. It'll probably be gone by the time I try and order. Maybe they don't ship
I hope so.
Us or whatever.
Does it come with a free sandwich?
Comes with a free liver check. I don't know. Something. Asking for a friend.
Comes with a free mental health visit.
Yeah. Yeah. Why did I purchase this?
Why? What? Where am I that I'm doing this?
It's because it makes for good YouTube content. That's why. As soon as we would do that, we put it up. All right. So then the other thing was an article that I had already seen, but you had also brought to my attention. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah. Just
a major
noticed,
beverage purchase.
That Bell's was purchased by the same company that owns New Belgium. And they're, is it a Japanese company?
Bell's Brewery to be sold to New Belgium Brewing's parent company as founder retires. Australia.
Okay.
Australian-based beer company Lion will be purchasing pioneering Michigan beer brand Bell's Brewery as owner Larry Bell looks to retire from the 36-year-old company. Sale puts Bell's in alignment with Colorado's New Belgium Brewery, which was acquired by Lion in 2019. I didn't even know New Belgium had sold out, to be honest with you.
I had heard that. I thought we had.
Did we maybe talk about that?
Yeah.
Bevy and friends will do a literal spit take.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think what people can expect is more of the same. Of course, that's what they're always going to say.
But I mean, good for him. I think he's in his 60s. He's owned the company for that long, and he had a chance to sell and retire.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you make deals that, because I think it said they had 450 or 500 employees. As long as you're making deals that keep them, not being just all of a sudden laid off or gone, that keeps them going. That's always kind of the key, at least for me. And I would think it would be for him. From what I've read about him, he seems like a pretty good guy. Both companies have also a commitment to community. They'll be expanding with the alignment as well. Okay, so they're actually going to expand. Bell's will seek 100% carbon neutrality by 2030 and will continue to be part of Michigan's community by supporting events like Kalamazoo Pride and Oberon Day. So they're sticking with all that stuff. So that's cool.
And and the link that I put on Twitter, I think it talks about that like New Belgium's in like 48 states. And Bell's is like only in 41 or 43, and eventually that'll probably be something they do is to expand. But I mean, that's a lot of states.
Yeah. So I guess like you said, he began exploring a sale in January, partially because of recent health woes. He's had a bout with renal cancer. Renal. 1985. I think it's funny that it says 1985 and how long he's been there and everything. Like I think it was someone put on Twitter the other day. They're like, remember we used to say 30 years ago and you think it was the 1970s? Now it's like 1990. Yeah. It was like, you're old when.
Yeah. No, it's going fast.
Yeah.
Like I heard a Huey Lewis song on the way home today, and Do You Believe in Love? That was like their first big hit.
Do you believe
so that came out in the spring of
making
'82. So that song is 40 years old next year. I know.
Well, it's like, were we talking about it, or did I tell you it was Zeppelin 4? Remember, actually, we talked about that last week.
Yeah,
that's
funny.
50 years old.
And then, because Dan Patrick is a huge Zeppelin fan.
As you should be.
And I guess they actually made like a Zeppelin sort of themed shirt. He got inducted into one of the Hall of Fames. I'm guessing the Radio Hall of Fame, Broadcast Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
And then, but yeah, he actually brought that up on Monday. He said that, and he kind of said the same thing. He's like, it's not necessarily my favorite album, but it's a great album, because he's like, because he said he doesn't like Stairway to Heaven, but he didn't say which album he does like best. But he's a big Zeppelin fan. So yeah, it was funny. I was like, oh, that was cool.
I was born in 2000, but am in need of age.
Oh wow.
Well, that hurts.
Yeah, he's just a touch older than my son. So.
It hits me in my soul.
And yours too.
Yeah,
not much.
What was the other thing here? According to the Brewers Association, a national trade group, Bell's ranked at number 7 on the list of top craft breweries in the United States last year. Looking back at several decades of industry, Bell said he has a lot of pride. He should. That, like I said,
they do some good.
They've made a lot of great beers.
Yeah,
some of them overrated.
Yes,
but by this website,
they should have. Yeah, but there's some. They do have.
They make a lot of really good things. Yeah. Their barrel aged stuff is always pretty good. Is always very good. And yeah, they've got. I think I probably appreciate their stouts a little more than their IPAs, to be honest. If I'm making a generalization. But yeah, so yeah, that was kind of the other big news this week that was hitting out of the beverage world. Yeah, was that sale. But it sounds like
AboutBeverages is going to be sold to
Yeah. Oh my God. You pay me the right amount of money. It seems like all of these things, they like wait a year, then you just start another. We just start another website. You've got another domain that we've never even
That's
used.
True.
So we just switched to that one.
I paid for that recently. That I re-upped with that. So yes, we have that as well. One of those things you think somebody that has a great idea is going to desperately want that, and they're going to offer it.
I don't remember what it is.
It's aboutcraftbeer.com. Because at that time,
Isn't it amazing how much we've flipped?
We were going.
When's the last time we podcasted on a beer?
Like
actually did a podcast that I put up on YouTube with a beer.
Yeah, it's been.
It is weird. It is wine. It is whiskey. Fozzy Osbourne. That is great because we just played a little Iron Maiden right there. Not that he was a part of Iron Maiden, but he's a part of metal, okay? Love the name. That's pretty good. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
All in that same general
milieu.
Ballpark. Yes.
But yeah, it's either been wine, whiskey. I don't even know. Like, I'd have to go back through.
I don't even know.
What is it called? Yeah, like I wonder when the last time is we actually did a beer. I wonder if they put them in order. Wine, wine. So, well, that was everything.
Yeah.
A couple different wines there.
Spooky. Well, we didn't podcast on those.
Oh, we did the Bloody Mary mix. Okay, that was different. Hello there. How are you both doing? We're doing great.
Doing very
We're
well.
doing very well.
First time chat from viewer.
I know. That's nice. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Yeah, we do. We're doing a little beverage podcasting. This is what we do every Thursday night. Now with the time change from 4:30 Pacific or 7:30 Eastern is when we start. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So that was a month ago.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Holy
not as bad
moly.
as I thought then. Oh, we did a beer
What
there
is
too.
that?
There's two.
Oh,
I guess we
you.
still mix them in there. It's just nowhere near as much. I mean,
Yeah.
that's whiskey, other things,
Yes.
whiskey, wine, tea. But yeah, so that's what we do. We do a lot of we do beverage podcasting on Thursdays, and then I am live the other days of the week doing some gaming. But we always have featured beverages going on during those times, like the ones we just had here. There's all the things we're having tonight. We had an eggnog from Trader Joe's, an oat-based eggnog.
Oat-based eggnog, yes.
Which was actually very good. Surprisingly, like I said, thick. Surprisingly thick,
Yeah.
which was kind of
Thick.
A lot of those things usually are kind of watered down when it's not actually cream and eggs and all the stuff that we like, but maybe our bodies necessarily don't. Like I said, that was a good one. And then, like I said, we just had the wine there as well. Have you done kombucha? We have not done kombucha in a really long time.
You know, and yeah, we should. Can we do like actual? Well, there's hard kombucha, but I wouldn't mind bringing. I love kombucha.
I do too. I think kombucha
stuff.
is fantastic.
Yeah, we've got
Hard kombucha is like actually they had a kombucha. Where was it? It might have been actually. I think one of the times I was at Stone that they actually. I don't know if it was theirs, but they had on guest tap. Like they had someone that was doing a hard kombucha, and it was either when we went out with, like I said, with my niece and them, and she got it, or maybe my wife got it. I can't remember, but that's kind of more recently that I saw that. AKA Whole Foods. Oh my God!
We have the one. It's called Flying Embers, and I guess. One of the people I worked with, she said that it was actually like made, or that the company started kind of near where she used to live in California, and the name came from when there were wildfires that were like very near their house, and so the Flying Embers became the name of their company.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's a like a pineapple chili thing, pineapple chili kombucha, which I don't know, scares me a little bit, but we could try it if we want to.
Nice. Just got home from
Oh.
Arlington Cemetery, put a wreath on my uncle's tombstone and paid my respect to him. Now I'm home safe. Before I left, I had the guard play military taps for him. He is a World War II veteran. That is awesome.
Wow,
Thank you.
yeah,
for
this
your,
is Veterans Day. We
Yeah.
did not make any mention of that, but
thank you for your uncle's service.
Yes,
Appreciated.
yeah.
Very much appreciated to all the veterans out there.
yep. Thank
That's
you.
awesome. That is.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Thanks for dropping in, and thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing that. Fruity spicy usually is the trend behind the hard kombucha. Sometimes, so what I brought up here, I actually had to look. We did 2 kombuchas a very long time ago. Apologize for the video quality on those. They're okay. But we actually did one when we had a guest in here, so there was 3 of us. We did the Unity Vibration Kombucha Pale Ale, so it was actually a beer. And then the other one we've done is also Unity Vibration. It was a Ginger Kombucha American Wild Ale. I remember us liking both of those, especially the Kombucha Pale Ale.
Yep.
I can't remember as much about the American Wild Ale.
1.7K views.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was 7 years ago.
See, that's the thing. There is a long tail in our videos.
5.4K views on the Sauza. Wow. Okay.
That's one of the ones that, like, I am shocked that people have watched that one. Because that was one, like, I think we did kind of at the end. It was one of the last podcasts. It's one of those ones where I can kind of tell, like,
we used to, yeah.
So we used to, a long time ago when we did our podcasting, we wouldn't just get together, and we would do like a couple things. We would literally record like what, 4 to 7, 5, 6, 7 podcasts.
We'd try to get
and like
some
by the time we got toward the end, we were both tired, like
palate fatigue.
palate
for
fatigue,
sure.
like coming up with like fun little intro, like
Right.
and so that
It
was one of the
wasn't as
ones where
fresh.
it was kind of toward the end where it was like, oh, let's do this. I think my dad brought that bottle over. I was like, oh, we should try that. And I remember just editing it, thinking like, oh, this is okay, but this one's not. And like I said, just over time, it's just gotten a bunch of views.
Oh, there's the hop tea. Actually, we did one on the hop tea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spent a few weeks in San Diego this past summer for an internship, and Nova Brewing hard kombucha was everywhere. How was that? Like, do you have I'm going to forget if you just post them here, but like you're more than welcome to mention them, but put that kind of stuff in the pub and Discord. If there are kombuchas you think we should look for either by brand or whatever, like I love them. Like I would be happy to try some of those and do like even like a kombucha roundup podcast where we do like 2 or 3 and just kind of like quickly, either if they're all from the same, distiller or brewery or whatever. But yeah, definitely always put that kind of stuff in the pub. If you're new here, we do have a Discord, !Discord. you can definitely join up there. And there is a section that is food and beverage. There's a place where you can put in recipes if you want. And then there's a place that is specific for all of you to make suggestions to us. And again, hopefully soon the website will get that finished and you'll be able to put in some information there as well and check out the new site. But yeah, and YouTube also a great place. And if you can always comment. I see most of the YouTube comments. Like I said, I don't always get the notifications, but usually within 24 to 48 hours, I'm always checking out stuff. So you can even comment on our latest video and say, hey, that's great, but have you tried, like, leave comments there too. Like, I'll always source that kind of stuff. So yeah. But yeah, I would say that was the big news of the week with the Bell's Brewing. I can't think if there was really any other beverage news. Like I said, we talked about the Arby's vodka.
Arby's vodka.
Crinkle cut vodka. And then that too, of course. A horse is a horse, of course. How do you think? Do you think this opened up any more for you at all with just this extra 10 or 15 minutes that we've been sitting here? Or the aroma is still fantastic to me. That is great.
The heat is still there a little bit.
I'm getting less heat. I was just going to say, I'm getting more of the raspberry preserve. It's got like the little bit lighter raspberry. It's still
that's there.
It's a little more balance of things, but it's then in the aroma. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's very good.
That's good. It is good.
That is really good. And definitely worth, like I said, that price too. I can tell where that's in my opinion.
So if you're near a Trader Joe's and you need a Thanksgiving red wine to take to the celebration, stop on by.
Stop on by and grab the Platinum Reserve Pinot Noir Carneros. Is that a region?
Yeah, it's in Napa.
Oh, okay.
I guess Carneros is kind of near Sonoma, and it's in Napa, but it's I guess also near Sonoma.
We demand to be our own thing.
Yes.
Is that kind of what it was?
Carneros.
They didn't want to be called Napa. So they're like, we want to be Carneros.
Well, it's Carneros, but
it's Phil Carneros.
Specifically, like Rutherford is a Napa region as well.
Oh.
So yeah, just more specific.
Very okay.
California, Napa, Carneros.
Oh, okay. All right. See, that's actually a good reference. That makes sense to me. Okay.
You zoom in. You get your map and you zoom in.
Okay.
California.
I like it. That makes sense. Should we go get the final podcasting beverage of the evening?
This intrigues me. The possibility of taste versus cost.
I thought you would appreciate that. That was why I thought of this one.
You shouldn't have told me that, but still, I like it. Good.
Did I tell you how much it is too?
Yes.
I probably already blurted that out at some point. I did. I think so.
You did.
That's all right though. I don't feel too bad about that one though, because I don't know what you'd guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna go grab the final beverage podcast for the evening. It is a whiskey. Like I said, something I have been recommended by multiple people. Not only in chat when we've even done some podcasting, like I said, but during the week we've had a lot of whiskey discussion because I always do Whiskey Wednesday now. Like I said, so I have something that we've had at least around. Usually it's something we've podcasted on, so I can just kind of have that quickly on hand. But this one has come up several times for not only value but flavor, just everything across the board.
Right.
We're going to see if this meets all of the qualifications of what we both of us enjoy in a whiskey. So we'll do that, and we will be right back. Right back.
Not bourbon. Is it bourbon?
It is bourbon.
Oh. 114 bourbon.
My good man, it is bourbon. Time for some
my
bourbon.
goodness.
Oh, dear Lord. Oh, my Lord. Lord have mercy. Isn't that what they say when they're making the whiskey? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know if they do or not.
Who knows? Who knows? Yes, we are finally getting the last beverage of the evening to podcast on. We're going to have...
This is when HJ should pop in right about now.
Okay, I guess not. They're dealing with... Oh, they got a new dog.
Okay.
Old.
Well, okay. Oh.
2 years though, so it's full grown. A little smaller though.
Oh, see?
Oh, now they have... Chaperone, how's it going?
That was perfect.
Perfect timing.
Well, almost perfect. Aw. Yay. Well, good.
Granddad time.
A new pup in the home. So
That's right.
El Chaperone?
El Chaperone.
Okay. All right.
Que bien, que está bien, el chaperón.
El chaperón.
I was lurking during the kombucha.
Have people seen this thing up there?
I don't know.
Can they see that?
That is also on, obviously I have that when I'm streaming during the day, but yeah, we've got our little logo up there. Letting
pretty
you know,
cool. It
look,
changes.
just moved
Look
right,
at there.
just
It
moved right
goes.
there. Twitter,
Oh.
letting you know we're on TikTok, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on obviously Twitch, all those things. Letting you know for a little bit, but then goes away.
Lurking during kombucha. Wait.
That's the name.
Oh, we
of
just
our
had kombucha talk. We didn't actually have
kombucha
though.
conversation.
Kombucha,
And you actually spell both of those with K's. Kombucha
Yes.
conversation.
kombucha conversation. Kombucha.
If we ever do a whole thing on kombucha conversation, it'll have to be both K's. All right. So we're going to do a podcast. We've got something very different. A lot of people, again, Gand-Dad time. A lot of people in chat have mentioned this beverage to us, or at least me, a few times.
Okay.
So we're going to give this one a shot and see if it matches everything they've talked about. It looks really good on mobile. I was lurking for the beginning of the show on my phone, and I really like the top left location. Perfect.
Nice.
I would like to thank, actually, I don't know if she's here right now, but I'd like to thank Mel for suggesting the top left location, not only for this, which is why I did it, but on the stream during the day. I kind of had it lower. I wasn't sure where I was going to put it. And then it was also interfering with if we had a sub train or something like going on, because it was kind of on top of that. I moved it to there and sized it differently. And she's like, yes, she had suggested that. And so she was right on. So I give Mel all the credit for that. So again, much appreciated for that suggestion.
Has HJ had this particular?
I don't
bourbon?
know. Probably. They've had everything.
Yeah.
They've had everything at some
They've
point.
had everything.
As soon as I
it's like batch 2 at their house.
it kind of is,
They've got
except
everything.
better.
Okay. Oh.
Don't think so?
Okay.
Really?
All right.
Shocked. Obviously, you've been drinking though, because you put I don't think so.
I don't think
exactly. So I think I don't know.
Well, unless that's a new word. We did learn a new word before.
or maybe that's what your new was your new golden retriever typing that.
I don't think so, but I don't know what you're having. I'm going to disclaimer, no. Just no.
I
just
assume
in
no,
case.
because if you bought it, I
Yes.
wouldn't have it.
There you go. The chat. Oh, wait, no.
I got you.
There it is.
I got you. Quit letting the dog type.
The noob dog. And congratulations, yes. Nope. Okay. All right.
We're gonna find out.
We're gonna see if this checks all the boxes.
I've always wondered. Yeah, it checks it checks a lot of my boxes and your main box. All right, so shocking. I'm bringing another whiskey to the table. You've been doing a lot of the
never
wine
do
thing
that. Yeah, I
lately.
know.
I've been doing the whiskey thing.
Come on,
So
wine and whiskey.
we're always at least starting our beverages off with a W. That at least we have, we've coherent on that.
Narrowed it down to one letter.
We narrowed it down to that letter. But what I tried to with this one in particular, I have been doing some of the higher proof stuff lately, kind of been getting you into that, hopefully to kind of open up, your palate and your mind a little bit to those kind of things. But then I thought at the same time, thanks to suggestions from you in chat, which we do listen to you. If you ever want to comment, you hop in Discord, like I said, comment on a YouTube video, anything, leave us notes below on other stuff that we should be trying. But this was one that came recommended by multiple people in chat, not only for quality and for that kind of more barrel proof type strength, but also the thing you're always looking for, which is a good value.
Good value.
So hopefully we have found all of that in this Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey for this Give It a Shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith, and we are AboutBeverages.com. And the beverage that we're about today is the Old Granddad 114 Bourbon.
That's correct. It is the Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. I did a little bit of research. This picture right here, this guy right here, Basil Hayden himself.
Oh, and we do like Basil Hayden, the bourbon.
The OG.
Yeah.
The OG, we do. And this is one of the, I guess the only other than Basil Hayden, this is the only one that uses that same higher rye mash bill.
Okay.
So the reason this one obviously can still be called bourbon is because it's mostly corn. So the blend of this one,
51%.
yeah. So this one is 63% corn, 27% rye, and 10% malted barley.
Okay.
Aged 4 to 5 years from what I was able to find online. And again, 114 proof.
Okay.
You already know what it is. Should I just say the price now? Should we just get that out of the way?
Might as well. Yeah, you told me. So
$20.
$20.
I've seen this up to like some people have been saying this is great for under 30. This is 20 at least in Southern Arizona at Total Wine.
Okay.
$20. I was like, okay, I've had multiple people that I trust recommend it, say, hey, that one's pretty good. I don't have expectations as like, oh my God, it's the best I've ever.
Right.
But what I am hoping for out of this bourbon is that it's like, okay, this is decent as a sipper, and that this is a good option for mixing into something because it's a higher proof, will stand up like if I'm making a Manhattan, if I'm making a whiskey sour or something like that. So that's what I'm hoping for out of this.
We did recently when we had that, what was it, the 1792, the Kirkland version.
Well, that one was excellent.
And that was a bottled in bond. That was a bottle. That was a 1 liter, right?
Correct.
And that was like mid-20s or something. And that was a great.
Yeah, that was $25, and
that was one that recently that checked all the boxes for me. So.
I would definitely say that one probably hit everything for you because that was that was not only a great whiskey, but it was also it hit the price box as well.
And after last week's discussion and comparison of Glencairn and New Orleans glasses and how they affected the flavor profile, we've decided to use the New Orleans because this is the higher proof.
Yeah, I'm kind of starting to go to this for some of the higher proof things. We did just open this a little while ago. I know you don't really decant a whiskey, but we have definitely found that it's kind of nice opening them, letting them either open up in the glass, open up in the bottle a little bit before, just to kind of let a little bit of the alcohol kind of come off.
Right.
That can definitely make a difference, but hopefully the New Orleans will help out with that as well.
Yeah.
Nice color on that, though. Kind of like dark honey, like marmalade.
As we joke
orange
about
marmalade.
sometimes that the bourbon should just be a color on the Pantone scale.
It really should
different,
be.
Different shades of
a few
bourbon.
different shades of bourbon.
Yeah,
this
but
one's a rye.
Orange, that orange, brown, honey, all those things kind of together.
Yeah. To the aroma?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hayes, how is it going? What's the difference between bourbon, whiskey, and whiskey? That is a great question. So if you're saying bourbon, there are a lot of things that kind of have to happen.
Right.
Go look up what those things are.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, whiskey in general can be anything.
Whiskey is a large term.
Whiskey covers everything, even to some extent, depending on how you spell it, covers Scotch, covers, Japanese whiskey, it covers like whiskey in general. Bourbon, now you're kind of segmenting down.
Yeah.
I used to always think bourbon also meant that it had to be from Kentucky, but that's not even true.
Right.
Specifically, I think I actually just had an article up here.
The main thing, bourbon is one of those things that was also created in the United States, and in the mash bill, you have to have at least 51% corn.
Right, that is one of the things.
That is usually the main thing for it to be a bourbon.
Correct. It usually has to be aged at least 2 years, I think, in New American Oak as well.
Okay.
That is also one of the other things. So there's just some standards that are there. Bourbon is made with at least 51% corn. In order to be classified as bourbon, a whiskey needs to be distilled from a mixture of grains or mash, at least 51% corn. And then, yes, always aged in new charred oak barrels. That was the other thing, too. And I believe it has to be at least 2 years, but I'm not seeing that here. You can still do other finishings and other stuff on top of that, but those are the biggest main things. Because recently, like I think we did it was the Smoke Wagon, and that's out of Las Vegas, and they say bourbon on it. And I was like, wait a minute, and I thought it's like, oh, no. Kentucky's not even part of that anymore, but I think people like to be able to say that when they can. Like this one is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, so this one is actually made in Kentucky. But yeah, there is the long version of it, or long and the short of it. Has to be tasted by a cowboy who says that's darn good.
Yeah, there is that.
There was that too.
There was a long list of things, and at the bottom,
they have to hire a cowboy. He goes through and tries that. But yeah, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. It's a very good question.
I've had a few first-time people joining us tonight.
I don't think there was anything else specific I wanted to let people know about here. Yeah, no, it's like pretty nothing. Oh, 4 to 5 years. Okay, I had mentioned that. So this one is 4 to 5 years. Okay. You ready?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's that you did have it open a little bit, but it's not overly hot. It doesn't hit you real quick.
It's not. I'm kind of surprised how the alcohol, like I'm getting it, but I'm surprised that it actually seems to kind of weave into the aroma. Like I get like,
yeah, it's a part of that.
I'm just starting to get like, I'm like, oh, is that alcohol going to like hit me a little bit too? And then it's like, oh no, now I'm getting, some nice, some rye aroma, getting a little bit of spice in there, getting a little bit of cinnamon.
I get the cinnamon.
And those kind of things.
Yep.
And then also I'm like, oh wait, I'm getting heat again. And then it kind of keeps hitting some waves. Yep. What else are you getting in that?
I do get the cinnamon, but it's a subtle and it's more of on the sweeter side. I get a little bit of sweetness in there with that too. A little creamy, and then like you do get the rye, you get a little bit of that
spice and
that
some leather and a little bit of oak in there maybe.
That's in there too.
Overall, fairly simple nose, like nothing like It's not like, oh, I'm getting this. Like when we pay for like expensive stuff, you kind of hope for like, oh, what is it? Oh, I'm getting this. I'm getting like, but there's
no. It's pretty straightforward, like, and yeah, you would know. Okay, I'm drinking a whiskey.
Yes, you would know you're drinking a whiskey. That's a good way to put it, honestly. But yeah, nothing, no faults, as we used to say in the coffee terms.
That's right.
There are no faults. All right, well, let's see if the taste.
It's also faultless.
Yeah, let's see that.
Spicy.
Yeah, that is definitely. I'm getting some heat on that one. I'm definitely feeling the heat.
And you're pushing me to the side.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting some heat. Definitely the taste.
Wow.
And kind of like a lingering heat, like where it kind of comes in waves. Where I'm like, oh, it's letting off a little bit.
Oh no,
a little bit more. Yeah. So yeah, definitely.
It's here. Now it's here.
I really like the initial flavor though too. The oak comes through. There's a nice woody, like even more of like a woody oak barrel, like charredness to it, like that comes through. Still a little bit of sweet. I wish there was like maybe a little bit more in the flavor, I guess, like a little bit more complexity because of the proof that it's at. It's not being watered down. I thought maybe some more flavors would come through. Yeah. But what comes through is still good.
Yeah, I'd like a little more. And I guess I want to kind of approach this as I don't know the price, that I'm just drinking 114 proof whiskey or bourbon. And yes, I would want a little bit more. I'd also want a little bit more body too. I wish I had a little bit more mouthfeel.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at that too, because usually that's what I'm hoping for when I get something that's a higher proof. It hasn't been watered down as much, and then usually there's a little more viscosity, a little more of everything else to there. But I am surprised, like I said, we talked about the price right at the beginning. I'm surprised for at $20 what I am getting out of this.
Yeah.
I would be interested to mix this into something else to see how it shines through. Does it just come through as like alcohol heat and a little bit of bourbon? Is there enough flavor there to really come through in a mixed drink? Like if I made a Manhattan, if I made something else, a whiskey sour, like does it really shine?
Second sip is really wrapping around the front of my tongue.
Oh, is it?
With spicy goodness. Bordering on spicy. Ow.
Bordering on spicy ow.
On spicy ow. No, it's there, and it kind of like hit me underneath and then on the bottom of my tongue and then wrapped itself back around.
Yeah, it kind of does. It's almost like it's lassoing the front of your tongue. That's kind of funny. I would agree. I do get each time, like I said, I like the oak. I like I said, it's not like it is more of toward a, like the char actual wood, maybe even into leather, like something like that. I'm getting more of those kind of flavors as opposed to, when we have the Woodford Reserve, the double oaked, where that's like a sweeter kind of double oaked.
Right. This
one is not that. It's more toward the spice and the fire and those kind of things. So, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely still is warm as it goes down for sure. So yeah, if you're out if it's a cold winter's day, a cold winter's night, definitely this will help keep you warm.
Yeah, I would be intrigued. Like maybe actually next time, like I said, when we do a podcast, I would like to make a mixed drink with this, just to kind of follow up. I don't think we really have time for it tonight.
Add it to the eggnog.
But yeah, that too.
The onog.
But I would like to try it as like in a mixed drink to see, does it complement enough?
Yeah.
Because obviously one of the mixers I like using, I like the Elijah Craig small batch, because that can usually be found around, $30, for a bottle. That's kind of like my good upper range of something that adds a lot of flavor and complexity to the drink. I wonder how much this really shows up, or if you're just like, oh, there's some spice and some whiskey. Like maybe it doesn't add quite enough for what's here. Like maybe it doesn't come through, but it's depending on the mixed drink.
And a Manhattan.
because the Manhattan
might
might
get a little bit lost though with all the other things that are.
That's
in
what I
there.
wonder.
Yeah,
it's like
true.
It would be interesting to tame some of that heat, but
Right.
still allow the oak and the wood to come through. But
Right.
anyway, that's what we'll have to give a try.
Yeah.
To on a future podcast. But overall, what do you think for?
Probably for me, I'd want I guess more of a mixer, not necessarily a sipper for me because it doesn't have the body I would want. And it's just a little bit. I think that warmth will dissipate to some extent as you sit with it, but it's a little warm and not quite enough body. But especially for $20, probably be a good one as a mixer.
I think that I would agree, but we will definitely have to check that out. And if you want to find out when we do that podcast, a great thing to do is be following our website at AboutBeverages.com. That's where you can see all of the videos, podcasts, reviews, everything we have done over the last more than a decade. Everything is there. So if you want to find an archive of all of that, go there. If you only want the latest videos on YouTube, that's the place to go there because that's where you're going to find the videos. Everything. If you want to hit the subscribe button, we'd appreciate that. You'll get a little reminder that says, hey, they got something new. Usually a couple things every week. So
full-length show.
Yeah, we always have the archive.
Standalone podcast.
Yep. Archive is up on Tuesdays, little standalone podcasts. Like I said, sometimes depending on what's going on, we may even have a couple podcasts. So yeah, I'll definitely be hitting that. If you only want audio, we've got you covered there as well. Obviously, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcast. If you have a favorite podcasting app of some sort that you like using, search for About Beverages, and we will probably be there, along with some pillars.
The 3 pillars of social media that we use are Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, which is the one that we use most often to keep you up to date on all of the happenings and fun at AboutBeverages.com. And I tweeted earlier tonight when we were about to go live on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages, which we do most Thursday evenings, depending on your time zone. For our particular time zone, it's around 5:30 Mountain, 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. Do the math as to where you are, but but we do that most Thursday evenings, and we get together, we hang out on Twitch and interact with our viewers, subscribers, and just talk about all kinds of things. Try beverages. Have fun. You'll get to see behind the scenes stuff that doesn't actually make it to the actual podcasts themselves.
That's true.
Also, throughout the week, Andrew's going to let you know what he's doing in the gaming world, what he will be playing, and what he will be enjoying while he is playing that particular game. So for all the latest news at About Beverages, follow us on Twitter.
But as we always say, whether we like it or not,
you should give it a shot.
And that is a podcast. Hey, sorry, we were in the middle of recording a podcast, so we didn't get to jump to your question. But if you were still here, thoughts on using ice with whiskey, or is it personal preference? It is probably personal preference to some extent.
Because we have thoughts. Yeah.
For me, I do not.
Right.
Because I go to the Fitz School of Whiskey Tasting. Fitz is, like I said, obviously someone that my brother works with.
Contributor, yep.
Yeah, contributor in some way. I don't like watering down my flavors, so I don't do that. But I also can understand when some people, like if you've got something that's like a really high proof whiskey and you still want to experience that,
right?
Putting in just a couple drops of water, I am not against that at all. And I have seen many professional, like, I don't know what the whiskey term is for sommelier, but there is a term for that. I apologize for not knowing it. But anyway, I've seen many of them try it the way this, and I would recommend that. Always try it straight and then add a couple drops of water afterwards if you need to.
Or, an ice cube might will also do that same sort of dilution thing.
Right. The only thing about that is it constantly dilutes. Like sometimes what I have recommended, and I have whiskey stones. I don't use them very often, but every once in a while I'll put one of those in there, and it's not going to dilute it, but sometimes it'll kind of ease back, like I said, if there are certain flavors that you don't like, because it kind of mutes those a little bit. But yeah, I'm not against it. It is always, I am happy when anyone wants to enjoy whiskey, wants to try whiskey. So I'm not one of those people that will, shame you for doing that. A lot of people try and do that. I just wouldn't like, if you're going to do it, just try and be able to measure it out. Like, oh, I've poured some whiskey in here. I'm just going to put in, a few drops, and you really don't need much water to add to it to kind of just, open it up a little bit, as they say. So yeah. Like I said, but I am not an ice person, but I definitely have, I'm trying to think of what the last one was. I had something that was like weirdly high proof. It might have been like a Knob Creek, like barrel proof something that was like 125, like something kind of nuts. And I haven't had that again, like now, and that was back when I didn't have as many of the barrel proof, the higher proof things, which now I have. I'd like to go back and try one of those again. But at the time, that one was like I barely had that one. So I was like, oh my God, that one's so strong. Like I would maybe put a little bit in there, but again, depending on what it is, like I said, I do not, but it is not, I don't think anyone should ever shame me for doing that. And if they do, I would find someone else to talk to, because I don't think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, you'll actually find a lot of people who do recommend that as a good way to, I mean, like I said, either a little bit of ice or a little bit of water to help dissipate that heat and allow you to experience those flavors a little bit. So
I would think at 51% corn, it's a lower gluten content than the higher barley or rye whiskeys. See, I'm not even I know, like I said, I'm not even going to suggest to understand that, but there are definitely a lot of 100% ryes that I do like. Like if you look at the Whistle Pigs, a lot of those are 100% rye whiskey. So possibly
gluten, yeah.
That seems like it would be less gluten, but I'm not even going to wade into those waters at all. But yeah, hopefully, Hayes, if you're still here, like I said, that's how we feel. Like I said, if anybody, like I said, that's the thing. Like, I don't think you ever want to squash someone's new enjoyment of whiskey. So anyway, I haven't tried the 114, but I am intrigued. I think if you normally like higher proof whiskeys or bourbons for $20, especially, try it.
Right.
At the very least, I think it's going to be a decent-ish mixer.
It is really spicy though. It's got some spicy heat.
Yeah. As opposed to the spicy peppermint. I don't know what that's.
Spicy goodness or badness, depending on your particular threshold there.
Gluten is found in barley, wheat, and rye. I would think the more corn, the less of those. Okay, so that's like I said, that I'm dumb to those things. Yeah. So okay.
Yeah, corn does not, and oats. Those are gluten free typically. But I guess like we have an oat that I guess it can't always be classified as that, just because they can be grown near fields that will like blow the different things onto those. Yeah, and so it has to. Yeah, there's certain standards they have to adhere to.
So you would actually look for stuff that is less on those things. So I apologize for suggesting rye
and wheat. Yeah,
there are actually like very high to 100% corn whiskeys. I have not had as many of them because I'm usually not as much fan of that kind of mash bill as the corn. But there are literally some that are called like yellow corn whiskey and that get pretty decent ratings. Maybe we'll have to do one of those at some point. We'll have to grab one of those.
The Trader Joe's that we tried, the high rye, it was 30% rye, but it was 70% corn.
Wasn't it 20% weed?
No, it's 70-30.
It's high rye.
Yeah, it's high rye.
It's high rye. For the label gluten-free, yes, they think about the fields and factories. I'm not silly, so cross-contamination is not... Okay, so if that's not a concern for you, then obviously that part is fine. Yep. But yeah, there are some, like, I know there are some higher, I think like 80, maybe they're not 100%, but maybe like 80% corn. What is it? I think it literally is called like yellow corn whiskey. Oops, not all one word, please. Yeah. Oh, mellow corn whiskey. I have not had these, so I cannot like recommend them on that level. But I have. It is a Heaven Hill. It actually is a Heaven Hill product.
Huh.
So I don't know. You could try one of those. I don't know if it says. Actually, I should go back and look up. So mellow corn, and then. So mellow corn whiskey is specifically that one is 90%.
That's corn. 5 years ago.
Well, they probably haven't changed.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just
accurate. Yep.
Statistical accuracy.
90% corn, 10% rye.
Okay.
So yeah, as of several years ago. Mellow corn. Okay, so directly from Heaven Hill, where it's distilled at, says it's at least 80% and aged for 4 years in bourbon barrels. So anyway, that might be one for you to try. I'm not sure. I've heard of adding an ice cube for about 20 seconds or so, then removing it chills a bit. Also, does that make sense to you? That actually kind of does, like that.
That could work.
That honestly probably adds the proper amount of like I've literally several reviewers that I watch on YouTube that do either bourbon or whiskey reviews that also have, like I said, that distinction as being the sommelier of whiskeys. I got to find out what that term is. But anyway, they will usually like have water with it, like a water bottle with them, and they'll be drinking that as they're doing it. Yeah. And then if they're going to add water to, whatever the bottom, little bit, they'll literally pour that short cap they'll put water in there and put that amount in. So it's like 2 or 3 drops is basically what they kind of call it, but they'll use that as the amount of water that they add to just kind of, it thins out the flavors, but it does kind of open up some of the other like aromatics and things in there. So I think there can be value to that, but that makes sense that if you dropped a cube in there, swirled it around for like 20 seconds, that might be a similar amount and you'd cool it down. So yeah, Baker, I think that's probably a good idea.
Yep.
If that is a way that you wanted to go. There's also a mellow corn Kentucky straight corn whiskey. It's bottled at 100 proof. That one's not. So, okay. So depending on which one you get, there's an 80% and there's a 90% corn. So anyway, could be wrong, but I think it was Colbert. Sounds like something like that.
And then you could also just go gin.
That's true too. That is true as well, which we will have a gin too when we come back at some point.
Yeah, we're thinking of probably a gin theme actually.
I think
to the show.
Yeah,
I'm
so
going to
what was
bring
what
over
you were talking about?
that pre-made Negroni that's still around, which it should be.
I like what you say about preference. I have a buddy that would be up on his high horse about putting ice in whiskey.
Yeah.
Again, I don't do it, but I shouldn't say I think we both want always people to be excited about drinking a beverage. It doesn't have to be an alcohol, but like I said, we're talking about that right now. I want people to be interested in that. And if the gateway or the doorway to get them in is doing this thing that I probably wouldn't normally do, I would rather have them do that, start to enjoy it, and then work their way up to maybe not having it in there. Like, I always think that's great. Ever tried Woodford Reserve Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey? I have. The Woodford Reserve stuff is always very good. I am very partial to the Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. I love that one, but the regular Woodford Reserve and the Straight Rye Whiskey are also very good options. So Hayes, I like both of those. Woodford in general is a good distillery, I think. Heaven Hill right now is getting a little bit of a bad rap. They're having I think they've had a lot of their people have gone on strike.
Oh, okay.
And then they're doing the like haven't come to the table, so they're trying to have people cross the picket line. They're like trying to basically like hire other people.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like a lot of people on like I said, part of Bourbon TikTok, and a lot of people are like, I'm not gonna like get rid of what I have, but I'm not gonna buy any more right now. Like I'm waiting, like it's one of those kind of things. So agreed. Carl Sagan once said, "Overcomplication is the veil of the crook." And I think snobbery is the same. And people who act snobby, in my opinion, are compensating. I would agree. I would agree with that.
I think you have the things that you like. And as long as you don't, look down upon people if they don't feel the same way, I think that's fine. Like I have certain times
when it comes to like drinking and things,
right?
There's some things you can look down upon.
Well, no, I mean, yeah. When we're talking about beverages, so that's what I'm saying. If I have certain, I'm not going to drink Budweiser. I'm not going to drink Simpler Times Lager at Trader Joe's. That's fine. But there are people who love that, and that's what they buy, and that's what they want when they watch football games or whatever. Okay, that's what you want to do, but that's not for me. And
so here's the and I would agree to that at some extent. Like as much as like that like I'm not a fan of that at all.
Right. But
it's like if you are open to them and are not that kind of snobbery, maybe you actually convert them to your side.
And
as opposed to going in there and just being a jerk and being like, oh, that's
well, then you're just butting heads.
Yeah, like why do that when it comes to that? Go like, oh, okay, like hey, have you ever? And like there's what they don't understand. There's like little steps you can make that can slowly you can start getting to them where like maybe they don't do that, but maybe they move up to a blue moon. Maybe then you move them up to like, and then you just keep like working and like you can eventually get them where it's like
it's a process. It's a journey.
And it's probably more than likely it's just they haven't had anything else.
Right.
And that's just what they're used to. And then someone just gets that.
Right.
My buddy likes to act like he knows whiskey so well. Seems like he says what he says to appear knowledgeable. I mean, we all do that.
There's just a lot of psychology into this stuff too. I mean, why did you pick that? So I talk with people a lot who a lot of their decision is, it's only 5%. I'm not buying that. It's 8%.
Are you calling out HJ in chat like right now?
No, that is.
Oh my God! Look what he's.
No, that is not.
I am so sorry.
That is not at all what I'm doing. I'm saying there are people who make those decisions, and it doesn't have anything to do with flavor. And it doesn't. It's only that. And
yeah, if you make a decision completely based on alcohol, that's
not what HJ do.
That's sad.
Yeah, no, not at all.
That group who love domestic beer is nothing. I mean, craft beer is domestic. Like that's still a domestic beer. But yeah, like that very specific, like mass market domestic beer. That's kind of where the problem. I just stormed out. I knew it. But domestic beer and craft beer, I think, have a different purpose. I think craft beer like Coke, nothing wrong with a Coke. I mean, a Coke is delicious. I like a good Coke. I'm not going to turn that down. But yeah, like I think that is an interesting conversation because I always look to, I would rather try and get people in than to try and just keep them out.
Right.
And I think that's unfortunate. Like I said, LG, if that's your friend, where it's like, because I always want to bestow knowledge, but I'm always interested in learning because I make mistakes. I don't know everything there is to know about, like, you know, it's like I said, when Hayes came in here and he wanted to ask, you know, the difference between bourbon and whiskey. I knew kind of in my head what it was, but I wanted to make sure I had the facts. Like I said, so I'm going to look it up quick. Like I'm not going to, you know, go on the way like that.
Right.
What are your go-to beers? That is a very hard question to answer. Man, Hayes.
Yeah. A large number of people with ulterior motive. And that's true. I mean, there's certain,
Mm-hmm. No,
I was going to say at a
LG.
certain age, but that goes on through. I mean, sometimes it is just something is being consumed because the buzz factor. But I mean, that's not me.
Yeah. Which is always funny though, because if you really did some math, and I'm sure it would still not come out completely in your favor, I'm sure there are craft beers that you could buy that even though they seem more expensive because of the alcohol content and what you're getting out of it, you actually would get more than the cheap like Bud Light or Budweiser you're buying because it's so watered down and the alcohol percentage, etc. Like if you kind of mess it around. Far more parenting and culture than
Of course, foodie motives, of course.
But back to the go-to beers. In general, I would say most things from modern times usually is an easy go-to. I still like stuff from Stone Brewing. Like I said, just speaking of breweries, just in general.
Right. That's kind of, I think, more for us as go-to breweries.
Yeah, than actually beer itself.
One of our local breweries, I know that, you know,
Dragoon, of course.
always do that.
Yeah,
Tombstone.
We're in Southern Arizona.
Big
Tombstone.
fan of Tombstone. So a lot of stuff they do, I'll do that.
Arizona Wilderness is also usually really good stuff.
Always trying new things.
But yeah, stuff that's national, Stone Brewing, like I said, Modern Times, national-ish. Those would be like my go-tos. But actual beers specifically, the easiest one, actually one of the ones we talked about earlier, the Phantom Bride, like I'll buy that all day long. Like I said, that's from Belching Beaver. They're out of San Diego, California. I'm trying to think of like what else would be the go-to ones. I mean, I still love the Stone IPA. Like I said, the original IPA, that is still a good West Coast IPA. Thinking of things that are like around like everywhere you find them. But yeah, I think more breweries. I agree. Like I said, like
more go-to brewery than go-to beer.
But yeah, Stone Brewing, Modern Times. I'm trying to think of something like East Coast, since we just mentioned two there. I haven't had a lot of stuff from Harpoon, but I always hear good things about them. I'm trying to think of like what do we do? Is there like some East Coast?
Well, that Toppling Goliath brewery, I've been liking stuff from them. That's out of they're out of Iowa actually.
Okay, but yeah, that's fine. Like I was trying to expand like a little bit.
Yeah.
Depending on where you're at.
I'm
Hayes.
enjoying my bowl of chicken noodle soup right now.
Oh man, Debo, I could use some chicken noodle soup right now. That sounds good.
For the soul.
So yeah, so you were talking. So we won't have a podcast next week, and then the one following that obviously is Thanksgiving. So it'll be a couple weeks before we do our next podcast. Like I said, so hopefully you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving or whatever you guys decide to do. Have some good food, some good drink, all those things. Do you guys like Four Peaks Brewing? They're okay.
Yeah.
They're fine. Like I said, obviously the Kilt Lifter, the pumpkin porter.
Their pumpkin porter is good. He has a bone to pick.
You have a bone to pick with Four Peaks Brewing? They're okay. Like
we had a good experience there years ago. We actually went to the brewery and had
that's
some
true.
good food.
Drecker, Baker, that is a really good call. Drecker is really good too. That is another one as well. That like I will just if I see something from Drecker, usually I buy that. Adroit Theory Brewing, I just bought 5 of their beers. Like I really like their stuff as well. Their logo is good. The San Francisco Peaks here in Flagstaff, but they are not from Flagstaff.
But I thought there are 4. I thought the 4 Peaks in the Phoenix area. I don't know. Yeah, whatever the 4 Peaks are, that's what they took it from. So, but they are not from Flagstaff, and now they are owned by AB InBev. So,
are they as well?
Yeah,
another one. Okay.
Yeah. So,
what's the one we always get? Like I know it's a little bit more mass market. What's the one we always get when we go to the baseball games?
The Hop Valley or what is it?
Hop Valley.
Yeah.
Hop Valley is also another one.
It's good.
Sierra Nevada, like I mean, that's like if I'm looking
Still
for something.
the narwhal. We talked about that earlier.
The narwhal is still good. The
barrel.
barrel aged narwhal, the regular narwhal is good. I think Hop Valley, like I said, I think there's stuff like I said again for more mass market stuff. I think is very good. Like I said, the ones that we always get when we go to the ball games are pretty
Dogfish
good.
Head. That's a back east that we used to really like.
That's true. We have not had a lot from them. I love
the
the
61 minute and the 120.
61 minute. Oh my God, that was
the Syrah
oh
made with the
my God,
Syrah
that was
must.
so good. Was that the Great Must?
Yep.
Yeah, Dogfish Head usually does a lot of really unique stuff. I'm gonna be honest. Like ever since they got bought by Sam Adams, I don't think I've had anything from them.
Yeah.
But I always like the 120 minute, the 90 minute. Like I said, like you just said, the 61 minutes. All those from Dogfish Head. If you're talking East Coast, yeah. But yeah. So anyway, a couple weeks till our next podcast. But when we do that, you were talking about you have a Negroni,
premix. Yep. We'll probably do that.
So we'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll have I'll have a gin as well because you were saying gin
theme. Yep.
And then maybe we'll do a mixed drink with this, with the old Gand-Dad. Maybe we'll put a bow on that.
Okay.
We'll do some sort of maybe a Manhattan. I don't know. What do you think would be? What do you think? What mixed drink do you think would give this the most chance?
I don't know enough mixed drinks. That's why I always say Manhattan, because that one I know.
That one I know.
I know that one.
Whiskey sour?
Sure.
Boxcar?
Whatever you want to try.
What about a Burley Gentleman?
The Burley
That is our own mixed drink.
That's our own.
No one else has it.
We created that one.
We created our own mixed drink.
That's right.
All through college, I always drank the common cheap light beer, and now I go to breweries or semi-fancy restaurants. 90% of the menus are beers I've never heard of, trying to branch out a bit. That is awesome that you're doing that, Hayes. That is fantastic. Is that battle going to last 2 weeks in your house? It should. I don't think this will be a go-to for my wife. She may try it, but I think it's going to be probably a little too hot,
a little too burny.
And I did just a bottle of Willet just entered the house, so I'm hoping that lasts a couple weeks. I'm going to be honest. Just made its way into the abode. So hoping that lasts. But yeah, that's great. Like I said, and Hayes, if you're at a fairly decent restaurant, most places will usually let you also get a taster too, within reason.
Yeah.
So, if you're trying to branch out, try some different things, don't be afraid to say like, oh, can I have a sample of, like, most places, even restaurants will usually, even if it's not like a craft beer kind of place, will usually give you a sample of something. So don't be afraid to ask for that. And like I said, or the best thing to do too is if they do it, do a flight.
Do a flight or ask for a recommendation as well.
Yeah, or ask for a recommendation. But yeah, like I said, those are the big ones. Stone Brewing, Modern Times. You said Dogfish. I agree with that one. Even Belching Beaver, like I said, for the most part, I like most of their stuff.
Just trying to cover some of the more
exactly,
stuff.
because obviously it's easy stuff that's local. But even for beer, which were you talking about? Taster? Yeah, they will actually do, like, if you were at like when
can I get a little taste of that? They should give you that.
So we're going to be going out this weekend to a college football game. The place that we wind up going to, they will totally do that. Like I said, that is usually a thing. If it's something that's like really premium, like if it's like a really expensive sour or beer, sometimes they'll be like, is it okay that we charge you $2 for that, $3? They might charge you a little bit for the taste if it's really expensive.
That they don't give you a very big pour of anyways. And
correct. Like if it's a high alcohol, something like, oh, can I have a taster of this 15% alcohol thing? Well, then that they may not give you for just like a taste. But your better places will do that. Never would have thought. Yeah, 100%. I'll keep that in mind. They should. If you're in town, I'll buy you both.
No, I know you guys. Yeah, they're having their I think the senior game too. So this is the last.
I think
U of A
last
game.
year was homecoming.
Usually
week.
we go to the homecoming.
Last week was.
But now it's like
this one's not.
This one's the last home game.
This one's actually honoring, I think, veterans or something there as well.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I think they're doing that. College football game. If you're, I'm going to hold you to that. Or actually, he will.
We'll go up to the walk-up Sky Dome. Yeah.
You should have next time put something in Discord like, LG, I'm here.
LG,
where are you?
I'm here.
LG, where are you? I'm here. We are going to the U of A game. We are actually doing that this weekend. And like I said, then we'll be going out. And like I said, the place that we're going to, they are kind of known for their craft beer. And so they will do tasters. And most restaurants, even places that only have a few taps, if you say like, can I have most restaurants will do that. Yeah. I would say. And if they're not, then that's fine. It would be my pleasure. It would be my pleasure to imbibe in that too as well. Maybe we go up there at the same sometime.
I always like going to Flagstaff for sure.
What are you doing in January or February? I got to go out to Anaheim.
Oh, yeah, I got to do that too.
I have to make a run out there, so maybe if you want to be involved in that, I've got to pick up a bunch of stuff from the brewery.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind throwing some things in that collection too.
Yeah, maybe we'll figure that out. But anyway, all right. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it. It has been another wonderful podcast. Like I said, I could be drinking like water, and if I'm hanging out here with my brother, it always makes for a good time. So
absolutely.
But yeah, so it'll be a couple weeks before we do our next one.
Yep, we won't see you until beginning of December.
Yeah, but I will see you tomorrow.
You'll be him. Yeah, he'll be
I
around.
will be here tomorrow.
Yes.
So that you don't have to worry about. Fear not, I will be here, or maybe like, oh damn, he's here.
Yeah.
I will be playing some more Red Dead again tomorrow as well.
Who are we dropping in on?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to go see here while we stall for some time.
Stall for time.
Who we're gonna go say hello to. Capture the Flag trials tomorrow. I know it is. I don't know how I feel about that. At least they're rolling back some of the other changes though, which makes me feel good. That at least makes me feel a little better about all of that. But yeah, so like I said, we'll see you in a couple weeks. A little bit of gin-ish.
The two degenerates.
The two degenerates. Oh my God, the two degenerates will be here per usual. I'm pulling out Whisper out of my vault tomorrow. I know. Make sure you've got that leveled up. Hopefully everybody read the TWAB, the This Week About Bungie. This Week at Bungie, I should say. You can go check out all those updates and things of that nature. What time do you start Red Dead? I will be on tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. I will be on. If you want to watch some Red Dead, we'll have another featured beverage. We are knee deep in the game. I think we are in chapter 6. I have played through the game before, so there's no spoilers. So if you want to talk about stuff, if you've played it, I will be on tomorrow doing that, having some fun. But yeah, for now, we are going to go do a raid to someone that is... Of course, you guys all know. We're going to go say hi to Jav. He's helping out some people with some Grandmaster Nightfalls. We're also going to see Lucky there as well. You guys all know Lucky.
Oh, Lucky was at the very beginning.
Huge supporter.
It was good to heal.
Yeah, it was good to heal. Huge supporter of this channel, of us, of me, of everything. Like I said, we love him. And like I said, Jav does the exact same thing. He is a wonderful person. If you play Destiny at all, like I do, you're going to want some of those higher level gear things and get through the Grandmasters, and he is the one to go to. I work from home, so I'll definitely have it on in the background. I appreciate that, Hayes. That is super nice. If you have not followed this evening, if you're hanging around, hit the follow button. I would appreciate that. If you want to go the extra mile, as I always say, you can shameless plug. Follow on Twitter, one of the pillars that we talk about. Subscribe on YouTube. That is also a big one. That is where we put up all of our archive videos. That's where we put up all the podcasts, all those fun things. See you tomorrow, Chaperone. See you tomorrow. See everybody tomorrow.
Yes. Good night. I will see you guys in a couple weeks. Have
You
a good
will.
Thanksgiving. And
Yes. Happy early
enjoy.
Thanksgiving, everybody. Good night.